Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy with Hank Stram. Good day for football. Sold-out crowd to watch a couple of clubs. One must win today to survive a chance for the playoffs. Let's take a look at the division of the National Football Conference. The Detroit Lions are in the lead. The rest of the clubs all have at least 4 losses, and very likely there will not be a wild card team coming out of this division. First of all, the Vikings were shut out last week, Hank Stram, and there's been some concern over their young quarterback, Tom Kramer.
Yes, I think there is a strong feeling about the fact that he is really not having a year that's up to his par, and for that reason, if he doesn't do well today, they might make a change. But he has the credentials to be one of the very fine quarterbacks in the league, and I'm surprised that he isn't expressing that ability so far this season.
On the other hand, the Packers are going to rely on Lynn Dickey to James Lofton as their hot hand.
Yes, and of course, Lynn Dickey right now at this stage of the season is really the hottest quarterback, one of the hottest quarterbacks in the National Football League.
We asked his coach, Bart Starr, about his impressions about Dickey.
Well, Kurt, again, I believe that Lynn deserves a great deal of personal credit because he's overcome a number of setbacks and has rebounded in recent weeks, and I think he's as hot a quarterback right now as there is going in the National Football League. He obviously has a great receiver in James Lofton to throw to, and if we can keep them hot, we're going to be in great shape. I'm extremely proud of all of our team, but those two guys offensively have really given us a thrust in recent weeks.
All right, Hank, a quick sum up.
Number one, I think the difference in this game today will be turnovers. Number two, field position. And number three, the kicking of Tom Burney. He hasn't done well so far, and if he doesn't do well today, it could be the difference in the outcome of this contest.
All right, let's go down to the field now for the opening kickoff. Mark Lee, number 22, and 89, Andre Thompson, are the deep men. The Packers won the toss, have elected to receive. The Vikings are in white, and the Packers in the green or dark jerseys. Rick Danmeyer will be kicking off. They're the two deep men. Lee's 22, Thompson's 89. They can both fly. There's a crosswind blowing from this side across the field. Right now, not favoring either team. And it could get colder this afternoon. Where's along? Danmeyer ready. The Packers have not beaten the Vikings here, Lambeau Field, since 1965.
Yeah, that's really hard to believe. I didn't know that until I read those stats this afternoon.
Lee has it on the 15 to the 20, 25, Lee to the 30. And he just nudges across his 30-yard line. He's hit there by John Turner, down covering the kick, number 27. So the Packers will go to work now. On their own, we'll call it the 31, the 30 and a half. The offensive line will be Stokes, Goforth, McCarron, Harris, and Cook. They're the skilled men. Ivory, Ellis, the running backs. Lofton, Thompson, the quarterback is Lynn Dickey. In the I formation, the tailback back is Ivory. And they pitch to him. He's to the 30, across to the 35, gets to the 37, the number 1 draft pick last year, who wrecked his knee, now coming back in his second year. Hank usually takes about a year or two to get over knee surgery. That confidence, doesn't it?
Yes, you have to be mentally tough, really, to survive a knee surgery, and it takes a lot of time, but this young fella has a great deal of ability, and I'm sure he's recovered from it completely.
There's the front four: Mulaney, White, Sutherland, Holloway, McNeil, Seaman, and Dennis Johnson. Studwell's in there now. They're in he's replaced Seaman. There's nothing. Chuck White, 72, wraps up Eddie Lee Ivory out of Georgia Tech for no gain.
That was a trap play, and James White really did a great job of reacting to the trap. And, of course, the trap means that you let the defensive man come across the line of scrimmage like he isn't going to be blocked, and suddenly he is blocked from the inside out. James White did not permit that to happen, and they lose yardage on the play.
They put 3 wide receivers in. Ron Cassidy, 88, goes in. Thompson, Cassidy, and Lofton are spread out now. They have a slot right. Lord is out. And they're going to blitz, but they hold him out. The catch is good. He caught it at the 49. line run. Cassidy, 88. Perfect toss, Hank, by Lynn Dickey.
It was a beautiful play, and against the defense that you'd like to see, there was a blitz on the play, which means that you have one-for-one coverage on the outside. The ball was thrown perfectly to Cassidy, number 88. It was an outside pattern, down and out, and of course the defensive back, Turner, was involved in the coverage. A beautiful play by the Green Bay Packers.
First down, Packers on their own 49-yard line. Near fumble there by Gary Ellis, but he's into Viking territory. A scramble for the ball, and it's recovered by the Vikings. He fumbled it on the pitch, and then he fumbled it again at the end of the play.
Well, we talked about the turnovers going into the game, and in this kind of a contest, it's a very emotional game between these two fine teams. And again, the first fumble of the game, a turnover by the Green Bay Packers, recovered by the Minnesota Vikings. And here we see it. He didn't have good possession of it as he got the pitch. Jerry Ellis we're talking about. As he did get tackled, the ball bounced loose and was recovered. We can't see who recovered that fumble, but it's Minnesota's ball, 1st and 10.
I believe it's Kurt Knopf down on it. That is only the second fumble the Packers have lost all year, and the Vikings have fumbled the ball away only once this year. Riley, Boyd, Willie Hamilton, and Yeri up front. Ricky Young, Ted Brown, the running backs, were shot. White, the wide man, Tucker, the tight end. The tight ends will be alternating to bring plays in. It's on the 38-yard line of Minnesota. First down, no score. 12:48 to go in the first period. Kramer will throw. It's out, and it is broken up. Intended for Sammy White, and is broken up there by Estes Hood, number 38. He was right on him, Hank.
Yes, he was. A play-action pass with the idea of throwing the ball out to Sammy White. Estes Hood, number 38, does a good job of responding to the thrown ball.
Front three for the Packers. Butler, the two Johnsons. Anderson and Douglas, the outside backers. O'Neill and the rookie Cumbie making his first start. Hood, McCoy, the cornerbacks. Luke and Gray, the safety men. Second down, 10. Vikings on the 38. They were shut out last week for the first time. 73. Ricky Young is piled up by the inside linebacker, Ed O'Neill. Spotting down at the 40-yard line of the Vikes. It's 3rd and 8.
That kind of a play, they just took the ball and tried to run it to the left side, but the linebacker, Ed O'Neill, was not blocked on the play, made a good aggressive surge at the point of attack, and made the tackle.
7 defensive backs are in. Lee, Jolly, they got them all in there. But 3rd and 8. Ed Brown went out. Terry LeCount came in as the third wide receiver. Out of the shotgun. Kramer's toss. Incomplete. He was trying to hit Terry LeCount on a crossing pattern, and Estes Hood tipped it away. The Vikings are stopped, and they'll have to punt.
The way he threw that ball, Kurt, you couldn't tell who he was really throwing the ball to. It went between the receivers, fell incomplete, and now the Green Bay Packers will have possession, pretty good field position, but Minnesota had good field position and didn't take advantage of it.
All right, punting is Greg Coleman. He's averaged just under 40 yards a kick this year. He'll be kicking to Fred Nixon, a rookie from Oklahoma, who's back on the 15-yard line. Again, a crosswind from this side across the field. Here's the kick, wobbling down, end over end, and a fair catch called by number 24, Johnny Gray. So the Packers will put the ball in play now in their own territory on their own 24-yard line. So each club has given up the ball after failing to move, and we'll be back here at Lambeau Field with no score. Green Bay's ball on its own 24-yard line. First down. They had the ball, moved into Viking territory, fumbled it away. The Vikings couldn't move and had to punt.
You know, both teams are very similar in that they throw the ball better than they run it, and either team has been very efficient against the run.
The run has really been their bugaboo. Both for and against.
See if Kaufman comes in motion. Here he comes.
That's the tight end, Kaufman. Dickey throwing it out. It is complete for first down, and that is Andre Thompson, number 89. fourth-year player with speed of East Texas State. He rolls nice to his left, Dickie, Hank.
Yes, he did. They sent Kaufman in motion to the left to occupy the linebacker. He threw right over the top. Moving to his left, throws the ball on the move, outside to Thompson. Coverage by John Turner, but he was a little soft, and they complete the pass for a first down.
Green Bay is ninth in their conference in offense. Eddie Lee Ivory on the pitch out. Eddie Lee Ivory's banged down on his 39-yard line by Randy Holloway, the right end. Dennis Johnson, the rookie right linebacker. Jeff Seaman, for you Viking fans, was scheduled to start. However, he had his old hands injury come back up, and Scott Studwell started the game as middle linebacker. And there is the rushing game that Hank was talking about. 3.2 yards a rush. The Vikings are not much better. They have a terrible time trying to get a running game going. And neither club has defended against the run very well. They're two passing teams. Second down, 6.
See if Kaufman goes in motion right this time.
Packers are on their 39-yard line. Gary Ellis with the ball. Ellis hit by number 52, the rookie Dennis Johnson from USC. He was there waiting, refused to budge ground. Well, it'll be a third down and an obvious passing situation coming up.
They do a good job with Kaufman, who is an excellent young tight end. They put him on the wing, which means it's a position off the line of scrimmage about a yard outside of the offensive tackle. Then he'll go in motion from side to side to get an advantage on the safety men, or perhaps he will stay where he lines up initially, and that's exactly what he did the last time.
3rd and 5. Doug Sutherland is put in the line for a pass rush. Dickey out to the sideline, incomplete to Lofton. Lofton would have been out of bounds anyway had he caught the ball. So it's the Packers who must punt now on 4th down and 5. And their punter will be David Beverly, who's averaged 39.7 yards a kick. The safety man will be Eddie Payton.
31.
Eddie has averaged 7.4 yards a return. The average return in the NFL this year has been about 8.5 yards. Anything over 10 is good.
Well, they got a good rush.
They have. They were in there, and they forced him to rush it. See what kind of a bounce. Well, he gets an extra 7, 8, 9 yards on it, and is dead with no return at the Viking 28-yard line, so not a disaster for the Packers. And as the Vikings go back to the attack, we'll return here to Lambeau Field with a score 0-0.
Full of the NFL cheerleaders, the Fats Moscone Pool Challenge, and the Acapulco Cliff Divers next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
No score, first period, Green Bay, Wisconsin. A little over 10 minutes to play in the quarter. Tommy Kramer gives the ball to Ted Brown. Brown has a hole momentarily, and then is plugged up, and he goes down at the 35-yard line, hit by the outside linebacker, number 59, John Anderson. Second down. Vikings ball under 35. Second down and 3.
That time they use a double tight end offense with a double wing, which means you have 2 tight ends and 2 receivers on the outside of the tight ends. And they did a pretty good job of running the football that time. Made 7.
Let's see what Kramer calls. Gives the ball to Ted Brown. Brown very close to the first down, maybe not quite. To his 37.5-yard line, George Cumbie nailed him there, the rookie linebacker from Oklahoma. Unanimous All-American last year. The Redskins break on top of New Orleans on a field goal, 3-0 in the first period.
George Cumbie that time reacted well to the draw play and made the tackle in the open field just short of the first down. We'll see with the measurement, but it looks like it might be just a little bit short of the first down.
I saw him in the Orange Bowl game, Hank, last year when Oklahoma played Florida State. He was all over the field. He's very quick. Good lateral pursuit.
Yes, and he's got the good combination. He's not only have quickness, but he's got speed along with it.
These two clubs, there's Bud Grant. They've had trouble protecting their quarterback, which may be some of the reasons the Kramers had the high interception ratio. The Vikings have allowed 20 sacks. That's third highest in the league. Green Bay and Denver have each allowed their quarterback to be tackled 21 times, and the Cards lead. Their quarterback's been tackled 23 times. 3 tight ends are in.
They're going to run right.
Third and a foot to go. Brown has a first down. He's over the 40 to the 41 or 42-yard line. Ted Brown, #1 draft pick for the Vikings last year.
That was a good key breaker that time. The halfback was way up in front of the fullback, which made it look like they were going to run to the right, and they usually do, but they crossed up everybody on the play and went to the other side and picked up the necessary yardage for the first down. A good call.
Minnesota's ball on their own 42, first down. Sammy White came back in the game. The tight ends, the extra tight ends went out. It's a slot right. Rashad and White are on this side. Kramer gives the ball to Brown. Brown trying to slant off tackle just short of the 45-yard line. He's hit there by Charlie Johnson, 99, and Steve Luke, the strong safety. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express consent of the Packers and the National Football League is prohibited. Mark it on the 45 of Green Bay. It is 2nd and 7. No score.
Looks like a blitz, and then they fake it.
Kramer roll out. He's got Ted Brown. He's at the 50. Ted Brown is a first down to Packer territory, to the Packer 46, where he's taken by John Anderson, the left outside linebacker.
You know, Minnesota is one of the few teams that really do an outstanding job of moving the pocket. Kramer that time just rolled out to the right, and Brown was open in the flat. He just took a couple of steps, threw the ball to Brown. Brown ran the rest of the way, picked up the yardage, but it's a good change of pace and puts a lot more pressure on the defense.
First time I ever heard the term moving pocket was from you and the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what you called it, the moving pocket.
Yes, we just like to move it around a little bit so we put more pressure on the defense.
So he wouldn't be a sitting duck, that quarterback.
Exactly right.
Just couldn't pour in on him in one position. Play action pass. There he's got Rashad. Rashad is downed on the 24-yard line by Mike McCoy, the cornerback. Ahmad Rashad keeps his streak going. He has just caught a pass now in his 54th consecutive game, Hank.
Yes, and that was a nice-looking play-action pass. Fakes to Young, and he's got some pressure coming, but he steps into the pocket nicely, throws the ball right on the numbers to Rashad, who makes the catch and is finally tackled there by Mike McCoy.
How about Carmichael, the Eagle? He holds the record, 119 games in a row, and receiving at least one pass a game. And he's going into today's action against the Bears. Game you'll see later on CBS. There goes Ted Brown. Brown and a nifty tackle by Mike Douglas, the right outside linebacker of San Diego State in his 3rd year. He's been playing excellent defensive football for the Packers all season, Mike Douglas. New England over Buffalo, 3-0. New England beats Buffalo, and they are in a beautiful position in their division to go on to the divisional title of the East of the American Conference. Buffalo's a team closest to him right now.
That play was designed, Kurt, to go off tackle, but Mike Douglas, the ball carrier, jumped outside, and Mike Douglas really made a good play and responded well to the move of the back outside.
2nd down, 11. Ted Brown in motion from the Packer 26. Kramer has time, and that ball is incomplete. It was intended for Rashad. Too low. He tried to dive, couldn't get it. He was in front of Estes Hood, the left cornerback, running that crossing pattern. 3rd down, 11. I remember when he changed his name, Bobby Moore, to Rashad in St. Louis. They were booing him then in St. Louis. Little did they know what kind of a career he was going to go on and have, Hank.
Yeah, and he was an excellent running back for the University of Oregon. And I know when he left, when I was in New Orleans, we tried desperately to get him on our team, but he decided to go to Seattle and then wound up with the Minnesota Vikings.
Would have been a good pickup for you. 3-0, Giants over Denver. 3rd and 11. The Vikings on the Packer 26. 6 defensive backs on the field for the Packers from the shotgun. Kramer hit just as he throws, and is nearly intercepted. Incomplete. It was intended for Sammy White, and Mark Lee intercepted it, and Sammy White did the smart thing. He prevented Mark Lee from intercepting.
And that's what you have to do, and that shows a lot of presence and a lot of poise. If you're not going to catch it, make sure that the other guy doesn't catch it, and that's exactly what happened on the play. Good position that time by Mark Lee for the Green Bay Packers.
And a fourth down field goal attempt by Dan Meyer, a 44-yard attempt. Rick Dan Meyer, Steve Dills is holding. Rossman kick is up, and that kick is no good. It faded to the left, low and to the left, so the Vikings are stopped, and the Packers will come back and put the ball in play on their own 26-yard line. We'll return to Lambeau Field with no score.
On below.
No score. Green Bay and the Vikings, the first miss in 14 field goal attempts against the Packers this year. Packers have been watching that ball tumble over the goalpost in field goals against them, but not that one. On first down, Lynn Dickey with a flag down. Flicks the ball to Gary Ellis for a first down, but we have a penalty marker down. The play carried to the Packer 41-yard line, where Scott Studwell tackled Gary Ellis. And I believe this may be against the Vikings, Hank.
It looks like it might be. It is offside against Minnesota. Lynn Dickey really threw a beautiful pass that time to Jerry Ellis. He had to pinpoint it right between the linebacker, and he did. Put it right.
Number 52, declined, first down.
Gary Ellis that time made the catch, number 31, but the ball was thrown beautifully. First and 10, Green Bay.
You know, Green Bay and Lofton and Thompson have 53 catches between them, the second best wide receiving tandem in the National Conference. Pat Tilley and Mel Gray is the leading tandem with the Cardinals, with a pair of wide receivers and catches. There's a play-action pass. Ball is out to Ivory. He's at the 45, 50, 45. Flag is down. Flag is thrown. You may have a holding or something on this. Flipping a wipe out, a long gainer by Eddie Lee Ivory on the little swing pass. And he had excellent downfield blocking, but somebody did something there, and let's see what it's about.
Pushing. That was a quick screen that time, and they executed very well, with the exception of the fact that there was pushing on the play. The other thing that was very important about the play, Kurt, was the fact that it was run on a quick count. And I think it's important during the course of the game to change the rhythm constantly, to go on a quick count, go on 1, go on 2, go on 3 to keep the defense off balance. Let's see here what they call.
Pass interference, number 89, offense.
That's offensive pass interference called on 89. You say, what do you mean pass interference on a running play? But Hank could explain that, how a receiver can be doing that. Well, maybe that was an option or some kind of a play. It could end up in a pass.
Well, what happened really was that he was supposed to crack back on the linebacker, and evidently that's what happened on the play.
The ball now is on the 31-yard line.
Kaufman will come in motion.
First down and 20. Siemens in the game. Sutherland is out as a linebacker. Eddie Lee Ivory is taken there by Mark Mulaney, the left end, number 77. We were talking about Eddie Lee Ivory, number 1 draft pick, had a great career at Georgia Tech. Came in and got a bum knee right away. That's the kind of luck the Packers have been having. Atlanta leads the Rams first period 6-0. Was operated on, and now they hope they moved him, Hank, to a tailback, where he says he can play better than as the short man in the eye as a fullback.
Yes, I don't think there's any question about the fact that he played that position in college. He feels much more at home. Gives him an extra 2 yards to be able to read the blocks and take advantage of running seams, and he does that extremely well.
3 wide receivers on the field. Cassidy, Thompson, Lofton for the Packers. Walker deep down there, and the pass is, who's got it? It'll go to the offense if they're in a tie. Kurt Knopf is there with him. Kurt Knopf battling Andre Thompson. If they both have it as they go down, it goes to the offense, but the officials are saying that Knopf came up with it with an interception.
Yeah, see, they both had it at one time, I think, Kurt, but Knopf definitely took the ball away from him. He looks like he was stronger of the two in that particular area, and now Minnesota has possession, first and 10 on the 45.
45. That's the second turnover today for the Packers. Eagles timeout. So when we resume play here, here's a replay of it, Hank. Let's take a look now. Watch him struggle.
He throws it inside. He's got a chance. He looks like he has possession, but in the process, Knopf took it away from him. A great play by Kurt Knopf.
Minnesota and Green Bay, no score. 4:47 to play in the first period. The temperature today, 36 degrees at kickoff time. A crosswind, gusting. Kramer to Brown. Brown was tackled by Ezra Johnson, the right end, who was all over him, and they're going to spot the ball back at the Viking 40, a 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15.
That was a trap play. But the Packers, specifically Ezra Johnson, who was supposed to be trapped in a play but wouldn't let it happen, made the tackle. A beautiful play by Ezra Johnson.
They put the ball on the 45. He ran forward. His forward motion stopped there. He was taken back to the 40. They started a spot at the 40, but then correctly put it back on the 45. 2nd and 10. Ricky Young's come in the backfield. Draw play to Ted Brown. Brown only has a couple to the 47 of the Vikings. It'll be 2nd down 8, and that hit was made by the two linebackers, O'Neill and Mike Douglas.
You know, the Packers have been basically a 4-3 alignment team, meaning they had 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. There was a lot of controversy about their going to the 3-4, which means you had 3 linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. And what I've seen of Green Bay, they're really playing this 3-4 much better than they played the 4-3.
Good observation, Hank. All right, we have Terry LeCounte in. Joe Center's in. It's a shotgun formation. 3rd and 8. Kramer down the field. He hits number 34, Ricky Young. Ricky Young with a fumble. Packers scramble for it, and the Packers have it. Estes Hood, number 38, right on it. So that's the first turnover for the Vikings. The hit was made by Mike Douglas, the linebacker, number 53, that jarred the ball loose.
There you see him back in the pocket. He's a little hesitant as to who he's going to throw the ball to. Finally finds Young, 53. Mike Douglas makes the tackle, jars the ball loose, and it's recovered by Estes Hood. And now Green Bay has a good opportunity with good field position.
Green Bay has fumbled and lost once today. Now the Vikings have. Each team now has fumbled only twice to lose the ball all year.
Motion left, nope. Play action pass.
Lynn Dickey lobs it. There's Lofton right through his hand. He should have had that one. James Lofton, who's up there in the league leaders in pass receiving with 32 catches, 2nd among wide receivers in the National Conference.
It didn't look like he saw that ball well, Kurt. It looks like it. There's a play action pass, a good fake. They fake with the ball. Dickey steps up into the pocket nicely and throws outside, but for some reason or other, it looked like he was trying to catch it with his elbows instead of his hands.
Well, he's looking back. It's overcast, but there's a spot of blue and the sun's there. You can see the shadows. I think he was looking up in the sun.
I think so. He lost the flight of the ball, definitely. No question about it.
Well, they had him wide open. There's the patch on the right where the sun was beaming through. 2nd down 10. Packers under 44. Dickey out to Eddie Lee Ivory. Screen, 45. Oh, is he hit there? And down he goes by Scott Studwell of Illinois, number 55, and James Turner, 27, on the 46-yard line of the Packers, only a 2-yard gain. 3rd down and 8. Here are Lynn Dickey's statistics. In the last 3 games, Hank, he's completed over 70% of his passes. For the year, 59%. A man that has come back from a fractured hip, a broken leg 2 years ago, and 3 operations.
You know, the nice thing about it is, too, he's developed a terrific touch throwing the ball to the backs in the flat.
3rd and 8 for the Packers from their 46. 3 wide receivers in now. Dickey guns it. Bad pass in front of Andre Thompson. Well, they called him here Andra. He says he wants to be called Andre. So that's what we're calling Andre Thompson. And Beverly's now in to do the punting on 4th and 8.
Ron Cassidy had a one-on-one situation that time on John Turner, the right cornerback. But Dickey never even looked over here at all. He kept all of his concentration on the right side. But in spite of that, he still had the receiver open, but just threw it poorly.
There's Eddie Payton, the safety man. He's on his 15. Winds are gusting 12 to 20 miles an hour, but really a crosswind, and either team's affected in the punting game. The passing game will be affected, fluttering the ball around. There's the kick. He gets a twisting spiral away, a fair catch, called by Payton on his 19-yard line, where the Vikings put the ball in play with first down.
On the Vikings 20-yard line.
Oh, this is a battle between the two 20-yard lines now, 25-yard lines. Neither club can crack the other one so far. You know, the Vikings were shut out last week, as we said, for the first time since '73 by Cincinnati, and they ran only 46 plays last week. Cincinnati had the ball 72 plays. And of the 60 minutes, Hank, Minnesota had the ball only 22 minutes.
Yes, talking to Mike Lynn, Mike said yesterday that it was probably one of the worst games they've ever played. He was very frank about it, and other people expressed the same feeling.
Well, Bud Grant was honest. He said it was a flat, dull, boring football game.
Blitz.
There's a pass down the middle to Censor, the tight end. He has a first down. Smart call. Kramer sent him right down the open middle with a blitz on. And the young tight end, the first-year man out of Westchester State, was wide open.
Yes, and they throw a play-action pass, faking to the fullback on the play and throwing the ball right down the middle. A nice catch, well executed by Joe Censor, and they have first and 10.
Vikings ball on their 43, no score, minute 36 to go. He's high in interception. Threw for nearly 400 yards in his opening game against Atlanta. White in motion. Fake to Ricky Young. The pass to White is good for a first down. Now that's at the 39-yard line of the Packers. Sammy White has now caught at least one pass every game this year for the Vikings.
You know, that was another play-action pass, a duplication of what we just saw in the preceding down. And he throws the ball outside. On an outside move, Butler is trying to put pressure on Kramer, but the ball is thrown to Sammy White on the outside. And even though they had double cover that time, Green Bay with two people covering the outside receiver, Sammy White, he was still able to make the reception.
They have two tight ends in, Tucker and Censor. Ricky Young is out, and one lone running back, that's Ted Brown. And Ted Brown has the ball. Brown to the 35, bangs forward to the 34-yard line. Upended there by left linebacker John Anderson.
And John Anderson that time got caught inside and then finally tried to make it to the outside, made a stabbing effort to tackle, but had he maintained his position like he should have, it wouldn't have been any kind of a gain at all. And now it's 2nd and 5. They pick up 5 on the play.
Third string tight end Bob Brewer in. They just picked him up. Replaces Tucker. Injury reports on the Vikings. Bobby Bryant, separated shoulder, is out. He's not dressed. And Ken Sanders, with a dislocated elbow last week, is out for the season. Well, that's the end of the first period in Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers and the Vikings have played to a 0-0 tie so far.
The NFL on CBS. Today's game is sponsored by Toyota, who invite you to see all the 1981 cars and trucks at your local Toyota dealer. And by Michelob Light. After all, it's simply a matter of good taste.
Kurt Gowdy, Hank Stram, second quarter in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Vikings ball, 2nd and 5 on the Green Bay 34. Kramer is 5 out of 9 for 80 yards, no interception. He has found 5 different receivers. Ted Brown fumbles. Packers have it. Packers have the ball. He never had a hold of it on the ball. Charlie Johnson got to him. It looked like John Anderson recovered at 59. He just never had a hold of it, did he, Hank?
Yeah, he had a hold of it, Kurt, but he did a very poor job of making a decision and going and getting the most out of the plays he possibly could. He was dancing around, trying to look for a seam. You got to be right or wrong, make a decision and run. He didn't do that, and he paid the price by fumbling the football.
That was Anderson who recovered. Well, the Packers have the ball on their 37-yard line with a first down. Play-action pass. Dickey going for the bomb to Lofton. Lofton up there, and he can't quite get it. Flag is down. John Turner covering him, and they may call this one on Lofton, according to the way the Vikings are acting, as offensive pass interference.
Turner did a good job of covering on the play. He was with him step for step.
It's on Lofton, Hank.
Yes, evidently Lofton thought he could get away with a little push. It was a play-action pass with the express purpose of throwing deep downfield to Lofton. Well, you sure can't see it in the replay, can you?
No, I couldn't. Slight, let me take a look at another angle on this. This is where the offensive player commits the foul by either pushing off or doing something not to give the defensive player a crack at him. But, maybe just a slight
Pass interference, 80. First
down.
down.
On Lofton.
Yeah, it looked like he was on the outside, on the sideline side of Turner, and he might have pushed him with the right arm, right hand, and that's evidently what happened on the play. Good call by the official.
Well, Green Bay's ball on their 28-yard line, first and 20. Siemens in, Sutherland's out, and the Viking defense. First down, 20. Thompson in motion. Lofton out of the reach of Eddie Lee Ivory, number 40. It'll be second down, 20. There's Tommy Kramer, hoping to have a big game today and get the Vikings back on the number 9. Yeah, somebody rushed him. I think he might have hit his hand on someone's helmet or shoulder pads coming in on him.
That usually is what happens on a follow throw. You might hit the shoulder pad or the helmet. He tried to throw a ball that time. Looked like he didn't have any trouble.
Terry Bradshaw did not start today, but the Steelers are ahead of Cleveland 10-0 in the second period. Second down, 20. Lofton pass, same pattern. With the ball as Eddie Lee Ivory goes over the 35 and is out on the 37-yard line. Brought down by Scott Studwell, the middle linebacker. They pick up 9. It's third down, 11. Everybody now says, hey, the Steelers are done. You don't think so, do you?
No, I think they're still going to be the prevailing team. They just have some injuries, and they're not quite as efficient, but they're still an excellent football team. No question about that. Lynn Dickey that time exercised good judgment on the preceding play. Had Ivory open on the same pattern, but didn't see him and didn't throw the ball right. Came back through the same pattern, and that time he was open, and they make some yardage on the play.
They put 2 men in the line, Sutherland and Roller, to help rush the passer. They take Sutherland up at right tackle, Roller at left tackle. Gary Ellis trying to get away to the 40, and he goes down at his 43-yard line. A gain of 6, but they're short 5 for a first down. It'll be punt formation for Green Bay. Fred McNeil hit him first, and then Tommy Hannon, the left safety. And in punt formation is David Beverly. Eddie Payton is back for the Vikings as the safety man on the Viking 15.
The Vikings are 13 against the rush, but it's very deceptive. Against the Bears, they did a magnificent job against Payton, and they're doing a very good job against the run here this afternoon. They're playing kind of a gap defense on occasions and creating some problems for the Green Bay Packers.
They're going to peel back to block for the returner. Payton is going to his 14, and he's down on the 13. Down to cover was Jim Bueno of Tulane, number 51. So the Vikings will have the ball deep in their own territory when we return to Lambeau Field here in Wisconsin with no score. The Vikings have the ball on their 14-yard line with a first down. Robert Miller's now in the backfield for the Vikings. He'll be number 35. The ball goes to Miller. Miller sprints over the 15 and out to the 18-yard line. Not a great speedster, pretty tough inside the tackles, 6-year player from Kansas. And he was brought down by Ed O'Neill, the inside linebacker. We've been telling you about the shutout. You wouldn't believe Minnesota last week, and they were very honest about it, Hank. Bud Grant said, we stunk up the joint.
And that'll happen to you sometimes. You know, you just have a flat day. You can't understand it, but you have it. And you have to forget about it and hope that you'll come back the next week and do a good job.
They're in the I formation. They have Huff and Langer now in at left guard and center in the offensive line, where the Vikings have had a lot of injuries. They don't get much there. That's Ted Brown. He only reaches the 20. Ran into Mike Douglas, the outside linebacker. It'll be 3rd down and 4. That offensive line is a finely honed machine. When you start getting people hurt in that line, you're in trouble.
Yes, and that time they try to run another trap and right in Ezra Johnson and Mike Douglas both did a super job of responding to that play and stuffing it and making it 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4. Vikings on their 20s. There's the skies. Cold, about 36 here.
They have to throw to one of their backs now or their tight end where the coverage is.
Kramer's pass blocked, deflected by Mike Butler and 77. So the Vikings must kick.
They try to throw the ball that time outside.
Tried to hit the tight end out there in that sideline.
Yes, they did. They tried to hit number 38, Bob Tucker, but it was deflected and falls incomplete by left end Mike Butler.
Fred Nixon is back as the safety man to receive Greg Coleman's punt. He's tied for the longest punt this year in the NFL, 65 yards, with Miller of the 49ers. It wobbles up there like a wounded duck, and then grabbing a ball, a fearless catch there by Johnny Gray. Right behind him was Keith Nord, who pounced on him from behind just as he caught the ball. He couldn't do anything until they had a chance to catch it.
Yes, that really was a daring catch. And if those kickers could throw a baseball like they're kicking at football, they'd be in the big leagues a long time.
Like a knuckleball. We'll be back. No score. All right, the Packers here from our CBS telecast booth. Good place to broadcast Lambeau Field. Much like the Notre Dame Stadium. You almost reach down and touch the players.
Here comes the tight end in motion, possibly. Kaufman, number 82. No, he doesn't.
On 1st down, Gary Ellis has the call. He wriggles across the 40 to the 39 of the Vikings. Gain of 4. Scott Studwell hopped on him. 2nd down, 6.
When we saw the Packers play Tampa, 95% of the time, Kaufman from that position went in motion. They're deviating from that plan a little bit today and doing a good job with it. And it's very important for Green Bay. They have excellent field position. The field position doesn't mean a thing unless you take advantage of it and get some points.
2nd down, 6. Green Bay on the Viking 39. No score. Thompson coming in motion. Dickey to Ivory. Ivory on a sweep. And Ivory is only good for maybe a yard where Mark Mullaney crossed the field from left end to the right side. Made the tackle there.
Dennis Johnson did a good job at the right linebacker position also to stop that play. A play that was designed to go outside. You know, Curtis, you look at the Packers, it looks like if they could throw in front of John Turner, the right cornerback, on occasions, especially on early downs. They haven't done it too often yet, but I think they should, and I think they could.
3rd down. 5 to go. Flags go down. Somebody move or what? Or do we have encroachment? You saw the lowest point total in the league by the Packers. However, the last 3 weeks, they've come alive on their offense. This was against Green Bay. We'll make it 3rd and 10. The ball will be put back on the 43-yard line of the Vikings. Leotis Harris moved the right guard.
False start, 69.
That's Harris, right guard, 69. There you see him lift up. That's a false start. And that drew the Vikes off. So it's now 3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers on the field for the Green Bay Packers. Dickey has the time. Gary Ellis has the ball. Gary 37.5-yard line, taken out by 45 Hannon and by Nate Wright, the left cornerback. Let's see what they do now, Hank.
Gary Ellis, I'm surprised he didn't try to get the ball downfield. He never once looked to his left, concentrated all of his time and attention on looking right, throwing the ball into the right flat to Gary Ellis. He's carrying the ball in the wrong arm, should have it in the right as he goes down the right sideline, but now it's 4th and 5, and they have to kick, and they did not take advantage of that fine field position that they had on the plus 43.
Well, just about to comment on that. Beverly will try and pooch it up, maybe, or kick for the coffin corner. And he's just sort of laying it up there. It's going to hit, and it's going to be inside the 5. It is dead on the 4-yard line. He got a line drive. It was a chip shot, as you saw, hit and spun back instead of skipping on into the end zone.
Well, that's a nice difference between grass and synthetic turf.
Watch Gary Ellis throw a block here, number 31. Well, this is Peyton here, 31 on the Vikings.
Yeah, Peyton.
No score. We'll be back. Vikings ball on their 4-yard line. First down, no score. Kramer to Ted Brown. A little more running room. He brings it out to the 9-yard line. Brown is hit by George Cumby. That punt, by the way, of Beverly was his 14th punt that died inside the 20. He came into the game tied with Cincinnati's Pat McAnally for the league lead with 13. So when you keep that club inside the 20 with no return, very good.
Yeah, and again, as I mentioned, had that ball been on synthetic turf, it would have probably bounced up into the bleachers because it was a line drive.
Second down, 5. Minnesota on their 9. Robert Miller's in the game now, running back. Miller has the ball. Miller just short of the 15 as he was being chased, ran into John Anderson, the outside left linebacker, number 59. Watch this pursuit, Hank.
Yes, they really fly as the guards pull. Robert Miller running to the outside, and 62 out in front doing a good job. Brent Boyd, who they liked very much, who they got in the 3rd round last year. But good job of running by Robert Miller.
Well, there's Bart Starr with a turtleneck. His 6th year as coach and general manager. Very honest interview that we're going to talk about with Henry. Some observation Bart Starr made. And the first down on the 14, the Vikings trying to get some room. And hit immediately just over the 15. Ezra Johnson pounces on Ted Brown. Maybe a yard gain at the most, 2nd and 9. Hank, Mike Christopoulos of the Milwaukee paper did a 3-part interview with Bart Starr about what's happening here. And Bart Starr was very open and honest and said, frankly, I did not have the experience or the coaching experience to be a head coach here 6 years ago. I should have worked under somebody like Stram, Landry, Shula, a veteran coach. He was very open and honest about that.
Well, he's a very honest individual and realistic, and I still think he's doing an excellent job here for Green Bay.
Well, I do, too. Robert Miller's there. Miller's on it. The point I want to make, he was open and honest, but he said now in 6 years I've learned to coach. I also didn't listen to myself enough. And it was a great interview.
Yes, I understand that it was. I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me because he's a quality guy with a lot of class, and he would be the kind of a person that would make that admission. But I think he's absolutely right. He's a much, much better coach, he has to be, than he was when he first took the job initially.
Player down. This club doesn't have the greatest talent in the league, but I think they're getting the most out of it.
Yeah, that's the challenge you have as a coach, to make your people express their God-given skills and ability to the utmost of their capacity. He's doing that with Green Bay.
Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram. That's Ed O'Neill, the linebacker, limping around. Right now it's 3rd and 14. The Vikings on their 10-yard line. They hope for a big 3rd down play. And they're They're going to run it to Miller. Miller coming out. He's short of the first down. He's out on the 17-yard line. Taken out by Mike Douglas, 53, and Anderson. Douglas has been all over the field.
You're exactly right, Kurt. I just was about to make that observation. He is really playing extremely well. He's all over the place and doing an excellent job from his right outside linebacker position.
Wiley Turner's down, number 20, a reserve back. They had him in there as a 6th defensive back. It appears to be a leg injury.
And Mike Douglas played his collegiate football at San Diego State. He's 6 foot even, 225, a 3-year pro from, as I mentioned, San Diego State. And really doing a great job here this afternoon.
Taking a look at some scores. Saipa just passed to Calvin Hill. 9:10 to go in the half. It's 10-7 now. Pittsburgh over Cleveland. Calvin Hill's been a valuable fill-in man in the backfield for the Browns.
Yes, he's spotting extremely well. And, you know, the nice thing about Calvin is the fact that he's an excellent receiver, has a good understanding of the passing game, and adds another dimension when you throw the ball on long yardage situations or passing situations.
Joe Ferguson just threw to Frank Lewis for a 14-yard touchdown pass. Buffalo leads New England 7-3. Denver's taken the lead over the Giants 7-3. Jim Jensen bucking over a yard out. That's a 6:43 to go in the half. Other scores, Washington leads New Orleans 6-0. New Orleans hasn't won a game yet. Greg Coleman coming in to punt. And it's still Atlanta 6, Los Angeles nothing at the end of the first period. Greg Coleman the punt. Fred Nixon is the safety man. On 4th down for the Vikings. And unless the Packers mess this up, they should have good field position again. There's 6:53 remaining in the first half. There's no score. A whistle. Flags go down. Delay of game, I believe. It is. Delay of game. They just took too long.
That's a tough penalty because it takes them back another 5 yards, and the way this wind is blowing, why the Packers really ought to have excellent field position after this exchange unless they fumble the kick.
Now, Duke, if you can get a shot of the flag over here to my left, I believe it'll show it better. It says about a 15, 20-mile-an-hour wind. It looks, there it is. Looks to be a crosswind, but actually, it's angling against the Vikings right now. It's changed a bit, Hank.
Yes, it has.
Good shot there. That shows you, no matter what, that ball will be flopping around. There it is. Oh, he shanked it. Bad kick. Very bad kick. He shanked it out. And it's out on the 31-yard line of Minnesota. And this is where the kicking game right now is hurting the Vikings. About a third of all games are decided on the kicking game, aren't they, Hank?
Well, I think with teams playing 16 games, 5 to 7 games each year are going to be decided by the kicking game. And you see it week in and week out, and it's going to be a factor here this afternoon, too, possibly.
That's punting, returning punts, kickoffs, returning kickoffs, blocking kicks, field goals, extra points. And they work on it. Eddie Lee Ivory, nothing. Boy, James Duck White was there, 72. They hit him from Oklahoma State. He may have lost a yard. He did, back to the 32 of the Vikings, 2nd down 11. The Packers just can't get that running game moving.
Well, they can't, but I'm surprised that they wouldn't throw on 1st down, especially I think they can do a little business on John Turner, the right cornerback, the way he's playing, especially on 1st down. They haven't cultivated that possibility too much, and I'm surprised they haven't.
2nd down 11 for Green Bay. At the Viking 32, there's no score. We're approaching 6 minutes to play in the first half. Out of the I formation. Dickey to Ivory. Ivory has a hole momentarily and plows to the 26-yard line, where he's brought down by Dennis Johnson, the rookie linebacker, from behind Doug Sutherland, the veteran right tackle.
You know, an unusual thing, Nate Wright is playing the left cornerback. He normally plays the right corner, but he's playing the left side, and John Turner is playing the right side, which is quite a change for those two different defensive people. But even Nate Wright is playing very soft on the left corner.
It is 3rd down 5. Packers in possession on the Viking 26. Straight drop back. Dickey's pass is intercepted by Turner. Out of the hands of Lofton.
Can you believe that?
Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson had possession. The ball was thrown perfectly, but it was bobbled in the air. And Turner, who we just got through talking about, watch this. He was open coming into the inside area. The ball was thrown right at the numbers. A beautiful play by Turner, who responded to the tip ball, and they have possession. But another turnover by the Green Bay Packers.
This is twice. Lofton dropped one right in his hands, and Thompson dropped this one right in his hand. This was a big play for the Vikings because of that completion would have put the Packers in great position. Ed O'Neill's out. Kurt Alderman has replaced him as a linebacker for the Vikings. First down, Minnesota. Miller goes down on the 21-yard line. Second down coming, long yardage. Johnson and Butler right on him. Butler is a strong defensive left end, Hank.
Yes, he is. Played his collegiate football at the University of Kansas.
They have a 2nd and 10 from the 20.5-yard line. Tucker's out. Setcher's in at tight end. No score. 4:40 to go in the first half. Neither club is threatened seriously.
You have to give both teams a lot of credit for the way they're playing defensively.
Now Tommy Kramer. It's blocked. It goes into the hands of 73. Is that Ron Yeri? Let's see. He was just standing there.
Yes, Ron Yeri.
Ron Yeri got a forward pass. Boy, what a surprise for Yeri.
And he ran like he was a dump truck once he caught it. Very alert play by Ron.
That's a completed pass, touched by the defense first, and into the offensive hand. On the 25-yard line, 3rd and 5. Blue-fingered Ron Yeri.
Here he comes back in the pocket again, Kramer. The ball is released, knocked down by number 60, Kurt Elliman.
Let it go.
And Ron Yeri makes the catch.
3rd and 5. Kramer's toss. Incomplete. Sammy White was right there. Eustace Hood was covering him right on him.
Kramer put it right on the money, right on the shelf. It should have been caught, but it was dropped. But there was good coverage on the play, and it was a beautiful throw by Kramer.
Now you'll notice both quarterbacks are getting time to throw. We've not had a sack in this game. They stand at about the middle of the league, both teams, in protecting their quarterback.
But both teams are throwing 5-step drop passes, which is a quick pass. They don't get back 9 yards. They get back about 7, and they're releasing the ball quick enough where the defense can't get to him.
Greg Coleman, the punt. We had a bad kick last time. This one's fighting to win. Fair catch call by Nixon on his 44. Green Bay's ball, first down.
And I'm surprised Nixon has gloves on, and I think that's a very dangerous situation to have receivers wearing gloves, because I don't think they have the well, I think when a golfer takes his glove off when he putts, that tells you a little bit about the sensitivity and the feel, and to try to catch a football with gloves on, I think is a bad situation, and I think you're going to drop a lot of balls because of the gloves, and it's a dangerous thing.
Well,
back to work.
I've done some bird shooting with gloves, and the gloves can be slippery too.
That's right.
First down, Green Bay on their 44. No score, 3:27 to go in the first half. Hoffman, the tight end, went in motion. Lynn Dickey will put it up. There's a man open. He's got Lofton for a first down. Lofton crosses down the middle. First down on the 35-yard line of the Vikings. That is the first catch for Lofton.
And here again, it's the same situation, throwing in front of Turner. A play-action pass. Steps up into the pocket nicely. Throws the ball inside in front of Turner. I think you can throw in front of Turner. I don't think you can throw behind him, but you can throw in front of or outside of Turner, and they did it that time on the last play-action pass.
20-yard completion. First down, Green Bay and the Vikings 35. No score. Big rush on. They tried to get a screen pass, and the man that was going out to get it stumbled. That was Eddie Lee Ivory. He was tripped by one of his own men. There are the gloves. Thank you, fella.
Yeah, we just got through talking about him, and there he's showing the gloves.
Yeah, they could be a little slick. I know shooting gloves, they cut you cut the fingertips off, so you got the bare finger to pull the trigger. Second down, 10. 35-yard line. We have some more scores. Washington now. Another field goal by Mosley. He has 3. Leads New Orleans 9-0. Minute 50 to go in the half. Poor New Orleans. Thompson in motion. Eddie Lee Ivory to the 35. Still running. And is chased out of bounds. Just short of the Viking 30-yard line. Nord and Turner drove him out. That's the score we just gave you.
That time Ivory did not wait long enough for a block from Goforth, number 57, who was going to make the block on the outside. He was a little premature in his judgment. Took off to the outside, and for that reason didn't get quite as much as he possibly could have had he waited for the block of Darryl Goforth on the inside.
3 minutes to go in the half. Joe Dinello's kicked a field goal. Denver 7, New York Giants 6 at New York. 3rd and 6. Green Bay on the Viking 31. Important play for Green Bay.
A lot of room on this right side.
They're just looking for a first down. He has Lofton. Lofton is to the 18-yard line. He waited for Lofton to find the opening, and then he did, and then just gave him a little dart throw out there.
That's right. Nate Wright that time and Turner were both covering on the slot side, which means that both receivers were on the right side of the football that time. I mentioned earlier that both Nate Wright and Turner are giving receivers a lot of room. Here's Wright giving a lot of room to Lofton, and he pays the price by permitting him to make the reception as 1st and 10.
9 out of 16 for Dickey. Look at 77 go up there. Mulaney trying to block that pass. And there is the 2-minute warning. We'll be back. Green Bay with the most serious threat of the ball game on the Viking 18 and no score. We're back. Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram. 2 minutes to play in the first half. A scoreless struggle. Bud Grant in the Viking sweatshirt. The man of the North. No, Hank was a little better dressed than Bud. Of course, Bud a little better in the duck blind.
and Bud's really done a great job with this Minnesota team, even though they haven't won as much as he'd like for them to do. He's still doing a super job.
First down.
Reverse.
Ivory Thompson. That's going nowhere. They lose yardage on that one. That fooled no one. James White, the left tackle, Doug Sutherland, just held their position. In fact, I believe they telegraphed the play, Hank.
Yeah, not only that, they advertised it a little bit, I think, Kurt.
And I think they also told them about it.
It looked like they were in the huddle that time because they really responded extremely well to that double reverse.
Second down, 14. They have Bill Larson in. He's just been picked up. John Thompson, the second-string tight end, is out for the season with a knee injury.
Look at all the room over here on the cornerback and one-on-one on the other side. They ought to just throw the ball to one of those outside receivers.
That pass is incomplete. It was poked away by Tommy Hannon, the safety man, intended for Paul Coffin, 82. Now they're up to a 3rd and 14. With the line of scrimmage, the Viking 22, and Eddie Lee Ivory brings the play in to the Green Bay backfield. Minute 17 to go. Both teams have their full complement of timeouts. This is the most serious scoring threat by either club. Unless the Vikings do something late here in this half, they're going to go 6 quarters in a row without a score. Unheard of for them. The pass. Look out. Intercepted on the deflection. Tommy Hannon comes up with it. And Nate Wright has the ball. And again, Green Bay blows a scoring chance on a deflected interception.
Yes, and Thompson really did a poor job of responding to the tip ball. He didn't know where it was and kind of stood there instead of making an attempt to make sure that the Minnesota Viking didn't come up with a ball. Had no idea where the ball was, and of course Nate Wright does a good job of getting the deflected ball and winds up with the interception.
Ball was tipped off Hannon's hands, 45, into Nate Wright's hands, number 43. That's the second tip interception. A little over a minute to go. The Vikings ball on their 13. Green Bay disappointed they didn't come out of there with something. Ted Brown racked up as he crossed the 15 and went to his 18 by George Cumby. Cumby's a hitter, not too big, plays over his weight. But beyond his weight, as a rookie in the pros, 215 is not gigantic for a linebacker by any means. Green Bay has called time to stop the clock, 52 seconds remaining in the half. Hank Stram before the game said it would be a close one with turnovers or field goals deciding. And Green Bay has had 4 turnovers, Hank, in the first half.
Yes, very unusual for them because they only had 1 fumble that they've lost going into this game, and yet today they've done a poor job from a turnover standpoint. The Packers on offense going into the game were 9th in total offense, 11 rushing, 6 passing. Had 14 interceptions going into the game, 13 fumbles, but they only lost 1.
You know, it's odd how human faces change. There's Starr going against a coach that had a coach against him as a quarterback. Now they're coaching against each other. On the 19-yard line of the Vikings, they have a 2nd down and 4. Green Bay will probably try and stop the clock again if they can keep the Vikings from making a 1st down. They have 2 timeouts left. Miller and Brown are the running back. They'll probably stay on the ground. They don't want to lose this ball. That's Miller. Miller's he may be close to a 1st down. And they call time again, the Packers, to stop the clock with 45 seconds remaining. They're trying to force the Vikings into a 4th down punting situation. Block a kick or get a return and get a quick pass or 2 for field goal range.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left with 45 seconds. And Minnesota has 3 timeouts left. Of course, Packers just have 1 now. But I think it's very smart on their part to call the timeouts for the hope and expectation that possibly they could get the ball back within the framework of the 45-second period.
And they've just given the Vikings a 1st down. First Vikings on their own 24-yard line. 2 short yardage plays to gain the necessary 10 yards. The deepest penetration of the game has been by the Packers to the 18-yard line of the Vikings. With just 1 minute and 8 seconds to go, and then an interception. 4 turnovers by Green Bay today. For Minnesota, they've had 2 turnovers.
Both teams are playing extremely well defensively. Minnesota coming into the game 11th in total defense, 13 against the run, 6 against the pass. And the Packers 9th in total defense, 10 against the rush, 9 against the pass.
Kramer to Ted Brown. Brown brought down on his 26-yard line. Clock moving along. And now the Packers have just called their last timeout. So they're out of them. And the Vikings will probably just freeze the ball on the ground the next play or 2. And we're going to go to the locker room. That's Dills, the backup quarterback. Go to the locker room. Looks like Hank with a scoreless tie here at halftime.
Yes, and here again, the Green Bay Packers have had great opportunities. They've had the better of it as far as field position is concerned. They had the ball in a plus 43 one time, plus 31, and never came out of there with any points. And early in the game, they had it on to minus 44, but never took advantage of the field opportunities and had turnovers, 4 specifically, and that's really the difference in the game so far as scoring is concerned.
Steve Dills in there. We're going to try and get a report on Kramer's hand. Dills from Stanford. Stanford put a lot of quarterbacks into professional football.
Well, they play a wide-open kind of a game, throw the ball an awful lot, as do most teams on the West Coast. And so, for that reason, anytime you get a quarterback with a good passing record and a good passing background at a passing school, well, you've got a fine prospect.
Receivers, Gene Washington, James Lofton right here with the Packers. Randy Vataha used to be with New England. Robert Miller. Packers converge on him and bring him to the turf at the 28, 29-yard line. And now we're in the last 25 seconds of the first half.
John Anderson, the right outside linebacker, number 59, really did a good job of containing the play and making the ball carrier go to the inside. For that reason, he was not able to run out of bounds, kept him inside, and the inside pursuit came over in good shape. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Bills just let the run out, and that's going to be the end of the first half at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No score. Struggle up and down between the two 25-yard lines. Green Bay, with the deepest penetration, blew their scoring chance with 1 minute and 8 seconds to play in this half by throwing an interception. 4 turnovers against Green Bay and 2 turnovers charged against the Vikings. And the Vikings now, Hank, and to me it's unbelievable because they can score points. They always have. They've got a good throwing quarterback, and Kramer have gone 6 quarters without a score in succession.
Yes, and of course, they haven't had very good field position here this afternoon. They got the ball one time on their own 13, their own 4 in another situation, their own 20, their own 13. So there's not much of a chance to open up when you don't have good field position.
We're going to be back here in Lambeau Field later. Right now, halftime, no score.
The next dimension in luxury automobiles. The compact copier with big copier features, the Canon NP200. And by the Continental Insurance Companies, whose over 4 million satisfied policyholders do the Continental.
Second half, Kurt Gowdy, Hank Stram. Bernie's kick is to Eddie Payton. Bounces around, and he touched it and knocked it out of bounds. If he'd have let it go, it might have gone out of bounds on its own, and it had to come back and kick it over again.
Yeah, the only other thing that he was fearful of, it might have been recovered by the other team, and that's what he was concerned about. Very, very intelligent play, Kurt.
They have Green Bay, Minnesota slightly ahead offensive plays. First down's about even. Look at the rushing. Green Bay's been held to 35. Minnesota's last in the league in allowing the most yards per rushing play. They're just about even. Green Bay 4 turnovers, Minnesota 2. It's on the 16-yard line of the Vikings, first down. Tommy Kramer with a jammed fingers back in his quarterback. Robert Miller took the handoff, and he's hit there by Kurt Allerman, the right inside linebacker. Miller is the leading ball carrier in the game and hasn't played much. 6 carries for 47 yards. Ted Brown gained 36 yards. Ellis had 21 yards. Ivory 18 yards for Green Bay. On the 20-yard line of the Vikings, gain of 4, second and 6. Split back. Miller charges. He's getting some push there when he hits that line.
Well, he got a good surge from the offensive line, the right side that time. Specifically, Ron Yeri did a good job of coming off the football. He followed Ron into the hole and was able to push his way for as much yardage as he possibly could in the play. Here you see Miller running the football, goes into the pile and moves it back a little bit. And of course, the tight end is very important. Joe Sensor, the tight end, number 81, also blocking at the point of attack.
Vikings on their 24. They have a 3rd down and 2. The offensive line is Riley, Swilly at left guard, Langer at center, Huff at right guard, Yeri at right tackle. 2 changes there since the game started. Kramer running out of the pocket. They hit him and dropped him at the 25. He's short of a first down. Kramer's hit by Ezra Johnson, the defensive right end of the Packers. It'll be 4th down and a yard to go, Hank.
Yeah, Ezra Johnson's done a good job here this afternoon. He tries to hit one of the running backs, decides to take off and run, but Ezra Johnson puts the squeeze on him, and they fall short of the first down area.
Fred Nixon of Oklahoma, the safety man. Greg Coleman in punt formation. He averaged 27 yards a punt in the first half. He has the wind at his back here in the 3rd period. The kick nearly blocked. It is coming to the rookie Nixon. Takes it on the 30-yard line of the Packers. Gets to the 35. Head forward to the 36-yard line where the Packers will put the ball in play. Well, an excellent kick by Coleman.
Yes, and that kick was almost blocked.
All right, we'll be back. We're early in in the third period. The Vikings and Packers playing to a scoreless tie. We're in Lambeau Field, and we're going to see the Packers with the ball now for the first time on their own 36-yard line in the third quarter. The Vikings have been stopped. Fumble. Vikings have the ball. Eddie Lee Ivory lost the ball. He wasn't hit. The scramble for it. And let's see who has it. It looked like the Vikings had it, unless some Packer burrowed underneath.
And he really had a nice hole that time. It looked like he was going to go for some extra yards on the play. Minnesota has possession. 1st and 10.
Randy Holloway came up with the ball. Watch this fumble as he had a big gaping hole.
You know, it looked like he received the ball a little bit too low that time.
Wait a minute, Hank. They've reversed the play out there. First they gave it to the Vikings, and now back to the Packers.
Well, that's a big break for the Packers because they'd really been in bad trouble with that kind of field position, with the ball being given to Minnesota on the plus 33-yard line.
Loss of 3 on the fumble recovery.
We'll put it back on the 34, a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12. Packers nearly had their 5th turnover. In motion is Andre Thompson.
Look at the room they have on the left side here on 27.
Blitz is on, and down goes Dickey. He saw it coming. That's Fred McNeil, left linebacker, blitzing him.
That's one thing bad about a play-action pass. If the defense guesses right, which they did that time, it's very hard to block the play-action pass. You don't see the linebacker coming from the backside. Lynn Dickey did not see McNeil coming at all. For that reason, had no chance to make the delivery on the pass.
Ferragamo just threw a 74-yard pass to Drew Hill. Rams now lead Atlanta 10-6 early in the third period. Ferragamo and the Rams have been making a lot of big plays this year. 3rd and 20. That was the first sack of the game, by the way. There's a pass. Hits Thompson at the 50. Thompson running 45, 40, 35, 30, 25. He's dragged out of bounds by Keith Nord. Andre Thompson nearly went all the way, but he has the Packers in scoring position.
Yes, that time, and he threw the ball. Dickey really threw the ball like a frozen rope right at Thompson, right at the numbers. He was coming inside. Wright was covering on the play. There you see Wright in hot pursuit, has no chance whatsoever to cover. Thompson does a good job of running to the outside, has the ball in the wrong arm, and would have had a chance to use it. The free arm as a straight arm had he carried the ball away from pressure. He's running to his left now. Watch, got the ball in his right arm instead of his left. He might have been able to use a straight arm on number 49, Nord, on the play.
First down on the 19. The ball tipped by number 72, Duck White. He was in on Dickey. Watch the tip here. Duck White has been outstanding on defense.
Here we see him leaping.
Yeah, you couldn't quite see
No,
the
you
tip
couldn't
very
see it.
well, but it was tipped. That's why it wobbled to the receiver. 2nd down 10. Now, Green Bay 3 times has been inside the Viking 25. They haven't been able to cash in, though. They've had the best scoring opportunities, Hank.
You know, they haven't run a trap at all up the middle, which would be a good play.
Lofton and Cassidy are the wide receivers for Lynn Dickey. 2nd down 10. A pass play, by the way, covered 55 yards. There it is, and it is tipped away. He was trying to get it to Cassidy. It was tipped away by 45, Tommy Hannon, who timed it just perfectly.
Yes, and Dickey did a little tap dance back in the pocket, looking to his left. Comes to his right, decides to jump outside of the pocket, throws the ball on the move, a nice spiral. But Hannon, as you mentioned, did a good job of responding on the play and knocked it down.
3rd down and 10 for the Packers on the Minnesota 19. Lofton and Thompson are the wide receivers. Thompson going in motion. Dickey, plenty of time. Pass high and out of the reach. Just tipped by Lofton, who was squeezed up against the sideline. 3 pass plays have failed, and now they're bringing the field goal team on.
You know, when you throw in front of Turner, when he's got a doesn't have much room behind him. He plays it much tighter, and for that reason, it's hard to throw in front in this part of the field. Turner did a great job that time of responding to the throw to the outside.
David Beverly will hold for Tom Burney, who has tried 3 field goals, has not kicked any. This is a 37-yard attempt against the wind, and a tricky wind. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Burney's first field goal of the year, and the Packers have the lead, 3-0, with 11:04 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, Burney must feel very good, and he'll be a much better kicker from here on in after making his first field goal for the Green Bay Packers.
Here we go now with a kickoff by Tom Burney. Eddie Payton on the 10-yard line. Burney's kicking off against the wind. He booms it. Boy, did he boom that one. Look at that kick against the wind by Burney. You're right, that field goal seemed to really zip him up, Hank.
Either that or he was soaking his foot in Gatorade, but he got it pumped up there pretty good.
First down on the touchback. Payton was the most surprised man in Lambeau Field. There's that wind he was going against, about a 15, 18-mile-an-hour wind, which is sort of angling across the field, but he was really going against it. That's the scoring drive.
And the nice thing about it, he got it up so high.
55-yard pass play set up the field goal from Dickey to Thompson. Minnesota's ball on their 20-yard line, first down. They have not threatened. They did not threaten against Cincinnati last week. Kramer throws a pass that is caught, and a flag is down. Ahmad Rashad. An interference call on this play. Is it against Rashad or the Green Bay man? Mike McCoy was covering there.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. It didn't look like there was any pass interference at all. It looked like Rashad made a fantastic effort and a great catch.
There was a lot of pressure on Kramer when he threw the ball, and he threw short, wobbled it out there. Butler was on him. That's interference against Green Bay. Didn't matter. He caught the ball anyway.
29 declined, first down.
On Mike McCoy, 29. Watch him being chased here, Kramer. Look at that.
Yeah, he just threw it up like the last shot of the Roman candle. There he is. And you don't see the pass interference on McCoy, but I tell you one thing, Rashad did a super job of diving for the ball and catching it before it hit the turf.
Oh, he's a great receiver. First down.
Tight end.
Kramer's passed to Sensor for a first down on the 29-yard line. 2 plays, and the Vikings have moved from their 20 to the Green Bay 34.
Another play-action pass that time, and if they continue to do that, Green Bay has to blitz some on first down with the express purpose of trying to catch him from the backside.
Look at Sensor go up. Tight end, very active, not overly fast, but active.
Yes.
He can jump. He was a basketball player in college.
He's got about 5 flat speed, but about 4 or 5 hands.
Kramer zips it out. It's incomplete. There's a flag down. He's trying to reach Robert Miller, 35 on it. Kramer's passing figures. Let's take a look. And remember, he's playing his ad with a jam finger. He's attempted 15 passes, completed 9 for 125 yards.
And it looks like it might be a penalty against the Green Bay Packers.
That's against the Packers. Dickey has attempted 21 passes, completed 10 for 149 yards. And right now, Minnesota's on their best drive of the game. They're at the 29 of Green Bay. It'll be first
Holding,
and 5.
number 38, defense, first down.
That's on Estes Hood, the cornerback, for holding. And defensive holding brings up an automatic first down. So this is the best penetration for the Vikings in the game. And it's a 51-yard drive they have going. Green Bay's ahead 3-0. 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Backs are out. It goes out to Miller. It's nearly intercepted by Green Bay's Kurt Allerman. Number 60 and Mike Douglas try to get the deflection.
They did a great job of camouflaging the blitz. It looked like they were going to blitz on the play, and right before the ball was snapped, they retreated, took perfect angles. Allerman that time almost came up with the interception, but they played it extremely well.
New England had just scored on a 24-yard pass from Grogan to Russ Francis. Buffalo leading 14-10 at Buffalo. 9:28 to go in the third period. Second down, 10. Vikings on the Packers, 29. Kramer with time, shoots it out. That one is incomplete. Diving at the 10-yard. Luke trying to make an interception.
It looked like Sammy White that time was going to run inside toward the post, then break to the outside. In the process, slipped and fell. The ball was thrown outside, and for that reason was almost intercepted.
We've had only one sack today. The Vikings have allowed now 21 sacks for the year. The Packers 21. Cardinals rank last. Their quarterback's been sacked 23 times.
5 defensive backs in the game.
Third and 10 out of the shotgun. Kramer will throw. He shoots it out. It's incomplete. And it could have been intercepted by John Anderson, but he couldn't hold on to it.
Again, you have to give a lot of credit to the defense of the Green Bay Packers and also the Minnesota Vikings. Both teams have had opportunities, but the defense have rallied around the situation and stopped the drives.
All right, Dan Meyer comes in. He'll probably try about a 46, 47-yard field goal. It's going to be a 47-yard attempt.
He's already missed one from 44.
Steve Dills is holding. Dan Meyer will try.
They ought to change it and try to run a pass. Everybody's on the line of scrimmage.
There's a kick up, and it is good. He nailed that one. Yeah, Bud Grant didn't listen to you, eh?
Boy, everybody, it's an automatic when you
he
see
could have just banged it,
Yeah, there was nobody on the outside whatsoever. It could have been a fake kick, rollout. It would have been a 7-point play had they been able to execute it properly.
There's a score, still a tie.
To the battle of the NFL leaders, the Fats Moscone Pool Challenge, and the Acapulco Cliff Divers next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Still early fall here in Green Bay, only 35 degrees. Warm.
Yeah, it's a little like home, Gary, Indiana, in the fall, and brings back a lot of great memories.
The kick, Dan Meyer puts the foot into it, and it comes to Mark Lee. The rookie's over the 20, 25, 30, 35. Good return out to the 40-yard line. Dennis Johnson had to nail him there. Green Bay now has some breathing room when they'll put the ball in play on their own 40-yard line with a first down. There's the story of the field goal scoring drive for Minnesota. 2 Kramer passes took him right down the field. He set it up 3-3. They wound up the first half no score, and Minnesota breaks their 6-quarter scoreless.
See if Kaufman goes in motion this time. He hasn't been going very often from that wingback position. He's not going now either, doesn't look like.
Gary Ellis has the ball, 40, 45, looking to lateral off, but he goes over and gets the first down. Gary Ellis carries the ball into Viking territory, where he met Scott Studwell and the safety man, Tommy Hammond.
Here again, I hate to bring it up, but here again, he's got a nice run, but he's running with the ball in his left arm. Watch it, running to the right with a ball in his left arm. Had he had it in the right arm, he could have straight armed 55 possibly and had more of an opportunity to make bigger gain on the play.
Green Bay's on the Viking 49 with a first down.
Look at all the room over here on the outside.
They're going to pitch it to Eddie Lee Ivory, and he's hit by number 55, Scott Studwell, who got great penetration on him. That's a loss. Pittsburgh, 2-yard run by Greg Hawthorne. Third period, 9 minutes to play. The Steelers lead the Browns 20-7. And remember, Terry Bradshaw did not start that game. Jam thumb. I don't know whether he's playing or not, Hank.
I tell you, that Cliff Stout is a fine-looking prospect.
Is he?
Yeah, terrific. Got a great arm, good height, good overall ability, but he looks like a super prospect.
How about the third stringer, Malone?
Oh, is he a blacksmith? He's 6'3", 228.
There's Ivory. He's going to be hemmed in. And twice in a row he's thrown for a loss. That time it was Nate Wright, 43, and Studwell, the middle linebacker, Wright the cornerback. Put that ball back now on the 41-yard line of the Packers. It is 3rd and 20, Hank.
Yes, and Studwell has really played extremely well here this afternoon as a linebacker.
No running game for the Packers. They'll have to throw it. They have 3 wide receivers on the field.
On the 41.
They spread out. They have Thompson, Cassidy, Lofton, Lynn Dickey right down. There's going to be a near interception. Threw the ball right at Nate Wright, 43. He was trying to get to Cassidy, but he threw the ball short. I think he thought that Cassidy was going to cut in front of Wright.
Yes, and Cassidy had good leverage on the receiver that time, Nate Wright, and as a result, he was trying to go up on top, but the communication, the mental communication, I should say, between the quarterback and the receiver was not there.
Okay, here's Beverly to punt. This will be his 5th punt of the game. Eddie Payton, the safety man of the 20, going against that tricky wind. He kicks it, wobbles it downfield, fair catch. Payton on the 33-yard line of the Vikings. Their ball, 1st down.
Fair catch on the 33-yard line of Minnesota.
Well, we're tied 3-3. 7 minutes, 28 seconds remaining, midway part of the 3rd period. We'll be back. Wardrobe furnished by Henry Stram.
Yeah, Kurt Gowdy, that's the old cowboy stuff.
Yeah. Here's a pitch to Ted Brown on 1st down. And he's out of bounds. You mentioned Gary, Indiana. I forgot you were reared there, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I was born and raised in Chicago and moved to Gary, and want to send love and best wishes to my mom and Dolly, who still live in Gary.
Well, she's watching today on the Bears Network. Bears in the later game today on CBS will be meeting the Philadelphia Eagles. Those are the figures on Tommy Kramer. Right now, the ball's on the 33-yard line of the Vikings, 2nd down, 10. Smith has just hit a field goal for New England. It's 14-13 now, Buffalo over New England. 8:15 to play in the 3rd quarter. Kramer, play action pass. Back out it goes, and it's over the head of Robert Miller. We haven't seen much of Ricky Young since early in the game, Hank.
No, that's right. They're saving him for something. I don't know what it is, but he hasn't done much in this game so far.
Vikings, by the way, play Central Division opponents 4 of their next 5 games, including today. They go to Washington next Sunday, then host Detroit, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay the following 3 Sundays. Vikings wish they could play the Bears every week. They've beaten the Bears twice this year.
You know, you have to wonder about Tommy Kramer's thumb or finger. He's thrown some errant passes, and whether that's having an effect on the way he's throwing or not, we don't know, but it could have.
3rd down and 10 on the 33 of the Vikings. 3 wide receivers on for the Vikings out of the shotgun. Mortimer is going to run it, and he is hit and brought down short of a 1st down. It'll be on the 42.5 of the Vikings. Mike Butler and Mike Douglas hit him. Watch him come out of the shotgun.
Yes, and he exercised good judgment. He saw that he didn't have a chance to throw the ball. Butler's in hot pursuit. He knew exactly where he had to go, but didn't quite get there. At least it doesn't look like he made it.
No, it doesn't look like it, but I think they're going to call for the measurement anyway. But from up here, they look to be a ½ yard short. But I guess they want to be sure. They're short. They got to be. Look at that, ½ yard.
Yes.
What's the story now? You can call for a measurement, make a measure?
Yes, anytime it's reasonably short, you can make that request, and they have to adhere to that request.
Greg Coleman will punt with the wind at his back. And Nixon, the rookie from Oklahoma, wearing gloves, is back on the 20. Driving kick. Nixon fields it on the 22, gets to the 25. and is dropped at his 27.5, 28-yard line. Hit there by David Huffman, second-year player from Notre Dame. So it's Green Bay's ball with 6:24 to go in the third period, and the game tied 3-all. It was 9-7 at halftime. Washington. Mosley has just kicked his fourth field goal, a 52-yarder, his fourth one, and the Redskins lead the Saints 12-7 with 3:18 to go in the third period. The score here is 3-3. Lynn Dickey on first down, throwing to Lofton, and double coverage, and it's broken up by 27. John Turner backpedaling, got to that ball. They're double teaming James Lofton, front and back.
Yeah, it's very easy to understand why, and if they could put more people on him, they'd put 2 more on him, I assure you, the way he catches the ball and gets open.
Let's take a look at this one. Denver leading the Giants 14-9 in the third period. Second down, 10. Jeff Seaman has gone in now. They have an extra linebacker in there, and 3 down linemen. They're playing a 3-4. Green Bay's 28 is the line of scrimmage. The screen dropped. Gary Ellis didn't hold on to it. Just goes as an incomplete forward pass. 3rd and 10. I'm beginning to wonder if anyone's ever going to score a touchdown here, Hank.
Well, you know, the reason that play didn't succeed, the ball was a play-action pass screen, and he threw the ball a little bit low, and for that kind of a play to be successful, you must throw the ball right about 2 feet in front and at the numbers of the ball of the back who's going to make that reception, so he can get underway without have to worrying about readjusting his course after he makes a low catch when the ball's thrown high or low.
First thing I was taught in basketball is to throw a pass chest high to one of my teammates. Doesn't have to reach over.
Exactly right. Same principle.
Catch the ball chest high and get a shot quickly off. Swing pass, making it 30, 30. They're very close to first down, but not quite. Eddie Lee Ivory taking the swing pass, finally nailed by Dennis Johnson, the rookie right linebacker.
See, there was a great illustration of how it should have been thrown the preceding play. It was thrown a little bit out in front, a little bit low, though, but it was thrown out in front where he can make the reception and carry on his course downfield. Short of the first down.
Steve Stribley on this camera work. Very nice, Steve. You've got it right at us. Excellent.
Beautiful shot. And Ivory is a little disappointed that he didn't make quite enough to make the first down.
High snap. Beverly has to get the kick away in a hurry, and he has a fine kick. Payton called for a fair catch. Nobody was there. 15 yards of it. Eddie Payton had a chance for a run back there, but called for the fair catch.
Well, there again, he has to make a decision, and right or wrong, he has to stay with it. He can't change his mind. He made up his mind that he was going to signal for the fair catch, and he was right in doing so, because once you make that decision, you have to stay with it.
Next Sunday, NFL on CBS. Atlanta's at Buffalo. Green Bay's at Pittsburgh. New York Giants at Tampa Bay. That's where Hank and I will be. And San Francisco at Detroit. Next Sunday on CBS. We'll give you some more of the games coming up also.
If it's a run, it might be something to the left side.
That's Miller piled up just short of the 25. Green Bay, the Vikings lost 10 yards on the exchange of kicks. Miller is hit there by Charles Johnson, the nose tackle, out of the 3-4 of Green Bay. Both clubs, when they're on defense now, and the other club's back on the 20, 30-yard line, they're trying to force a turnover and get a break here to get a touchdown. Here's the rest of the schedule. Dallas at St. Louis, Minnesota's at Washington, New Orleans at Los Angeles, and Philadelphia's at Seattle. Next Sunday on CBS. Second down 8 for the Vikings from the 25.
They fake the blitz again, play action pass.
Kramer flips the screen out, gets it to Ted Brown, trying to pick up blocking, and he has a first down and more. And notice he's a very poised runner that time. He waited for some blocking to form. He wasn't in any hurry.
That's a very good point, Kurt. That's exactly what he did, and that's why he was able to stretch that play into a bigger gain. They all took a sniff of the fake to the outside. He throws back. Watch him delay just enough. Watch the lineman. There he is. Throws a beautiful block. Darrell Goforth throws a beautiful block and permits the ball carrier that time, Brown, to make the big gain on the play.
4:31 to play in the third period. This game is tied 3-3. First down, Minnesota.
They ought to throw the ball again on 1st and 10. That's what they do best.
And they're going to.
There he is.
He's out there. Miller hit immediately by Douglas and pushed out of bounds.
Rashad that time was really open. They have an option. They throw it back in the flat, and then Rashad is running a streak pattern down the outside. And if the linebacker drops off, he throws the ball to the back. If he plays him tight, he throws to Rashad. That time, the back was being covered very tight by the linebacker, and he threw to him anyhow. He should have thrown the ball to Rashad. It had been a big play.
Yeah, Hank, they gained only 2 yards on it.
Yes.
Second down 8. Joe Sensor brings a play in, an extra tight end. Rashad's flanked to the left, Sammy White to the right. They have not gone to White much today. Kramer down the middle to Ted Brown. Brown slipping away for a first down. Ted Brown, twice in a row, has made first downs for the Vikings.
Yeah, Ellerman had a chance to make the tackle and keep him from making the first down, but you have to give him a lot of credit. He popped through there. I'm talking about Brown, and made the extra yardage for the first down.
He's a back that drafted number 1, then he damaged his knee. He's come back this year now, and he's starting to develop into a number 1 draft pick that they'd hope for.
Bob Tucker's in the game at tight end. You can look for him. He's a cute tight end. By that I mean he'll block, lay down on the ground, then get up and get passes, but he does that very well. There he is.
Under the gun. It's to Robert Miller. He's hemmed in, and he's slammed down at the 46-yard line of Green Bay by Charlie Johnson, the nose tackle.
And Tucker was really open on the play coming across the middle.
Robert Miller coming back. He's been used a lot here. Evidently, Ricky Young must have had some kind of an injury. We didn't have notice of it. His ribs. So it's Miller and Ted Brown, the running backs, have been carrying the load for the Vikings.
And Miller played his collegiate football with the University of Kansas, 6-year pro, 5'11", 204, but he's a good back with a lot of speed.
Second down, just under 10 to go. Kramer, hard rush on him again, throwing deep to White. Just missed it. Off the fingertips of Sammy White, who had a step on Eustace Hood.
Well, they had the slot to the left, which means they have 2 receivers on the same side of the football. And White that time made a good inside-outside move. The ball was thrown beautifully. Should have had the catch. And misconnections. Estes Hood was covering on the play, number 38.
Can't throw it any better than that. Joe Theismann to Ricky Thompson, 26-yard touchdown pass. 2:37 to go in the third period. The Redskins 19, New Orleans 7. 6 defensive backs on the field and 3 wide receivers for the Vikings. Third down conversions. Look at that, 1 out of 10 for the Vikes today. They're on the Green Bay 46. 3rd and 10. Score tied 3-3. Shotgun. Kramer. Rush. And nearly intercepted. Not quite. The Packers secondary can't seem to hold on to the ball. They've dropped 2 or 3 like that.
Yes, they've been in the right place at the right time, but haven't been able to come up with the interceptions. They've had opportunities, but haven't taken advantage of them.
That was Mike McCoy, number 29, the right cornerback. And now the rookie, Fred Nixon of Oklahoma, goes back to receive a punt. He was a running back as a sophomore, a wide receiver as a junior and senior.
Line drive.
Line drive to Nixon at the 25. That came off his foot. Looked like he passed the ball down.
That's right. It was a good
low
spiral.
Good.
That was a better spiral than you normally get from a passer.
Something happened. The officials, looks like a flag has been dropped. That's a personal foul against the Vikings.
They'll turn it down. I'm sure Green Bay will.
Let's see. They'd have the ball around their 31-yard line. Now, this may be tacked on at the end of the play. It is.
It looks like it is, yep.
This is tacked on after the punt return. Puts the ball in the Green Bay 47. Let's catch this one. Well, if they ever get through conferring, we will. Now they call the ball back.
Personal foul, number 55, after the kick, first down.
After the kick, Scott Studwell. And The officials are still talking. One official waved. Ryan Sipe throws again to Pruitt. That Sipe is unbelievable, the way he keeps Cleveland when they're behind in ball game. 20-14 now. Pittsburgh in the third period. That was not over by any means. Pittsburgh in the lead late in the third quarter.
He ought to throw the ball right here on 1st and 10.
Well, if they're in the eye, they shift out of it. First down, Green Bay on their own 47. They're going to run it. Flag goes down. Gary Ellis has a first down, but they dropped the flag on the play as the ball was snapped. Penalty against somebody. Tommy Hannon tripped up Gary Ellis. It's against the Vikings.
And the Vikings had a blitz on that time, and the ball carrier jumped to the outside. Steve Atkins did a good job.
Defense. Declined. First down.
Decline. Let's take a look at it.
Watch the ball carrier. Well, you don't see it. But watch the ball carrier jump to the outside. Talking about Steve Atkins.
All right, it's first down. Packers on the Viking 41. They're going to run it again. They give it to Eddie Lee Ivory. And the ex-Georgia Tech All-Americans to the 36-yard line of the Vikings. Where Scott Studwell, who's made many tackles today for Minnesota, brings him down.
You know, that play was designed to go against the rotated defense of the Minnesota Vikings. Rotation means that they had two people covering the flanker, only one on the split end. They ran to the short side, and it was a nice cavity. And good running by Ivory on the play.
Jeff Seaman comes in. They're in a 3-4 defense now, the Vikings. Second down, 5. Packers stay with a one run. Trying to get outside. Good move there by Gary Ellis, 31. They had him wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. He got away from Studwell, who's on the ground, and Nord finally tackled him.
Ivory made a nice block that time that permitted the ball carrier to jump to the outside, specifically Jerry Ellis. Watch the cut. Goes to the outside and makes a nice gain on the play.
He made a first down, too, Henry. Gary Ellis. And the Packers, who've not moved the ball on the ground, also down. That's Studwell. The Packers had only 35 yards rushing in the first half. They have been one of the lowest rushing teams, so the Vikings. Both rank in the bottom 3 of moving the ball on the ground. And suddenly the Packers start to move it on the ground.
And the reason they're moving it, they're getting off the ball a lot better. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's what you have to do. There's never really any mystery to why you make yardage on the ground. You have to get off the ball well, maintain your blocks, keep your legs going, and provide running room for the backs. They've done that the last few plays, and that's why they succeeded in doing a good job.
Right, but why do they suddenly get off the ball well? What happens? What changes for them?
Momentum, tempo changes, Kurt, and it's hard to understand what that really is and why it happens, but it occurs during the course of the game, and you wonder why you can't sustain it, but the other team has something to do with it, too.
Green Bay's ball, first down. Seaman has replaced Studwell, who limped off the field. They're on the Viking 30. The game is tied 3-3 in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter. It was a scoreless first half that he joined us late. That's Gary Ellis taking tackles. His forward motion has stopped at the 25 after he broke a couple of tackles. So he's been picking up 5-6 yards a clip. Now it's 2nd and 5. Let's take an ISO on him.
Watch Ellis go right up the middle. Good blocking at the point of attack by Leotis Harris. And also Larry McCarron, Darrell Goforth. They did a good job of blocking at the point of attack, and that's why he was able to pop through there for some more yardage.
Second down, 5. Packers on the Viking 25. Eddie Lee Ivory lowers his head and has a first down. He goes to the 19-yard line. He might have slipped to the outside that time and got more, but he was determined to get those tough yards.
You're right, but from the I formation, you really have to run not only with your feet and your legs, but also with your eyes. He went into the pile and put his head down instead of running with his head up and his eyes open, where he could jump to the outside, inside or outside, and make a big play out of just an average play.
Excellent point. First down. Studwell's back in now. Packers moving. They're on the Viking 19. They're doing it on the ground. They stay on the ground to Ellis, and he has only 2 yards. Quickly gathered in by Mark Mullaney, the
looks like they could run a trap play, and a trap play meaning they could run it up the middle and run a play on the middle linebacker. The linebacker's back about 3 or 4 yards, and the tackles are charging very strong across the line of scrimmage. It's a good time to trap them, and they haven't done that yet. Maybe they might on this particular drive the rest of the way in.
On the 18-yard line, second down, 9. Packers in possession. Game tied, 3-3. If they get it off, it'll be the last play of the quarter. And they give it to Eddie Lee Ivory. Ivory angling. There he is. He's inside. He called it perfectly, Hank.
That was the trap that we were talking about. They gave it to Ivory. A beautiful play right up the middle. Nothing fancy, just a little high diddle-diddle right up the middle.
Oh, they have a first and goal. Ivory thought he should have had a touchdown. That's the end of the third quarter with a score of 3-3. We now pause for a word from your local station. Kurt Gowdy and Hank Stram. We're going to the fourth quarter. 3-3 game. Buffalo just had a 23-yard field goal by Mickemeyer. They lead New England 17-13 in the fourth quarter. First and goal to go, Green Bay on the Viking 8-yard line. They're doing it on the ground with a powerhouse running game. Ivory over the 5 to the 4.5. Hit by Scott Studwell. So Ivory and Gary Ellis been pounding away. Just a power drive by the Packers right now.
They're really doing a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. At that time, Ellis tried to make a block that time for Ivory. Didn't quite get his head far enough in front and didn't succeed in making the block that would have permitted Ivory to make more yardage on the play.
Second down, goal to go. This looks like the old Packers with Taylor and Horning. That play is stopped. Sutherland, Holloway, just standing up there. They had no hole open that time. Watch Mullaney join the crowd here.
Mark Mullaney gets into the act. Watch it. A straight vanilla handoff straight ahead. Watch Mullaney. There he goes. Working on a diving championship of some kind.
Yeah.
The old high dive.
Third down, 4 to go for a Packer touchdown. 3 tight ends on the field for the Packers. Kaufman, Larson, and Swansea. Third and 4 for a Packer touchdown.
Play action pass.
Anybody open? Yes, there it is. Bill Larson, second string tight end. The Packers score. He slipped off there, wide open. They just picked him up.
That was a play action pass, faking to the left. Look at all the time. Look at all the Minnesota Vikings on the ground. All the time in the world to throw the ball. Throws it outside to Larson. And Larson looked like he ran out of the tunnel. Nobody was around him.
He was just waved by the Broncos, and the Packers had him, and he gets his first touchdown in a Packer uniform.
But there, look at all the people on the ground, which means it was a great fake, good blocking by the offensive lineman. It gave Lynn Dickey a lot of time to look around. He finally saw Larson wide open on the play to get 6.
There's a kick up by Bernie. The kick is good. And Green Bay, early in the fourth period, goes 53 yards. 10 plays, a power drive, except for the last 4 yards on the pass. So, we'll be back here, and we'll see what the Vikings do with the score now. Green Bay 10 and Minnesota 3.
The play action pass again with a lot of time to throw the ball. Gets it outside to Larson, 87, touchdown. And Green Bay goes ahead 10-3 with 13:33 left in the fourth quarter.
Here's Bernie's kick. A high, deep kick to Eddie Payton. 2-yard line. 10, 15 to the 20. And the Packers spin him around and drop him. The first hit was made by 62. Buddy Adelette got down there to slow him up. Minnesota's ball now, and they're going to spot it at the Minnesota. Mosley just kicked his 5th field goal of that game. 22-7 Washington over New Orleans. And a change. 2-yard run by Sidney Thornton. Steelers lead the Browns 26-14. 17-13, we gave you that one. Buffalo over New England in the fourth. Miller and Brown, the running back, 23-yard line of the Vikings. Kramer sacked. First sack of the game by Green Bay.
And if we could look at that again, you'll find that Tommy Kramer's feet were doing a little tap dance that time because he didn't know where to throw the football. Watch his feet. Look at these. He's not quite sure where to throw the ball. Feels the pressure. By the time he made a decision, it was too late. And number 99, Charles Johnson, made the tackle.
In a matter of sacks, Oakland has 27, Chicago Bears 26, LA 25 to lead the league. These two teams have not done much. There is a pileup on Robert Miller. At the 21, no gain. It's third down and 12 to go for Minnesota on their own 21. The two Johnson, Charlie and Ezra. Nose tackling right in. Stop that last thrust. Now Terry LeCount's on. Minnesota just can't get an offense going.
And again, I must refer to the fact that both teams have played extremely well defensively, and the Green Bay defense with the new 3-4 alignment has really been very effective here. Now they're at a 4-man line.
Green Bay appears to be fired up after that last touchdown drive. Kramer from the shotgun to Miller. Miller is out of bounds. They don't get the first down.
And Mike McCoy was covering and made the tackle on the play, number 29.
25-yard line is where they pushed him out. Formation. Nixon is back. Greg Coleman's averaged about 36 yards a kick, and he's kicked plenty in this game, 7 times. Early block. Wobbles up. Fair catch. Called by Nixon on his 45-yard line. Packers will put the ball in play from that point. 11:35 to go in this game from Lambeau Field before a sellout crowd. It is 10-3 Green Bay. The last time the Packers beat the Vikings in Green Bay in '65, Lyndon Johnson was the president and Bart Starr was the Packers starting quarterback. Packers leading right now, 10-3 on their own 45. Dickey recovers the loose ball to Lofton. Lofton has it. No, they say he trapped the ball. Say the ball hit the turf. Lofton's arguing.
He had him open, too, that time.
Wide open.
Yeah, wide open. There was a bad exchange between the quarterback and the center, so no wonder he didn't lose possession. But Dickey threw a beautiful ball to the outside. Is a little bit short.
I thought he caught it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he did, Kurt. I really think no, I don't think he did. I think he trapped it.
Let's take a look at another angle.
Yeah, it was just thrown a little bit too short. He made a great effort to catch the ball, but the official was right on the play. And
what did you see on that shot? To the 50-yard line and just nudging over is Gary Ellis, who's done some potent ball carrying here in the second half.
They're doing a better job of running at the middle area where the middle linebacker occupies that position. He's about 3 or 4 yards off the line of scrimmage, and it's a good place to run because you have to tighten him up a little bit so that you can run to the outside. They've done a good job of running in the middle, but they must still run, I think, some more traps to keep him at home and keep him honest and keep those tackles from rushing the passer.
Ellis has 61 yards rushing, the lead in the game. Ivory has 30. Dickey on third down. Complete to Andre Thompson. First down, Green Bay. They'll spot it on the 42-yard line of the Vikings.
The timing and execution on that play was perfect. Dickey delivers the ball nicely to the outside to Thompson, who runs in front of Wright, number 43, Nate Wright. Not bad coverage, but not good enough. And the receiver makes the reception. Audrey Thompson, first down, Green Bay.
They're on the Viking 42. Packers leading in the game, 10-3. Fourth period, 10:47 to go. Flags are down.
Doug Martin was offside that time, number 79, defensive end for the Vikings.
Hank, you were coaching the Kansas City Chiefs when Lynn Dickey was a quarterback at Kansas State. Then he left there to Houston, dislocated his hip. They thought he might never walk again. Then he came up with a broken leg here and had 3 operations on him. It's a miracle sports recovery for him.
It really is. It's an amazing story by a tremendous kid and a great competitor and a quarterback with a lot of ability.
He was a good player at Kansas State, wasn't he?
Oh, terrific.
Offside, 79, defense, first down.
Were you ever interested in drafting him there?
Well, we were very interested in him, but by the time we had a shot at him at that time, he was already drafted.
First down, 5 after the offside penalty. Packers on the Viking 37. Since the middle of the third quarter, the Packers have had all the momentum going. Here's Gary Ellis again, trying to get outside. He's been turning a corner when he's trapped and picking up 2 or 3 extra yards on his own little explosive burst.
Yeah, with the linebacker playing as loose as he is, that kind of a play is not going to be as effective as something straight at the defense or straight up the middle. He does a good job of running to the inside and then outside, finally tackled by Fred McNeil, number 54. But I think they'll have more success running up the middle and inside than they will outside against this Minnesota defense.
They have a second down and 3 on the Viking 35, 10-3, Packers ahead.
And they can still throw in front of those 2 cornerbacks, Turner and Wright.
Ellis will run him. He's got a first down right up the middle inside the tackle. They exploded him. They're wiping him out now inside those tackles.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job, and there was a good indication how much more efficient and effective they can be running inside rather than to the outside. They do a good job of blocking Doug Martin that time, and he runs inside of Martin. And Atkins does, or I should say Ellis does a good job of running.
They're getting Duck White back in the game, taking Dave Roller out. First down, Green Bay. Green Bay's moved the ball on the ground in the second half. Gary Ellis especially. He now has 76 yards. Second-year player from Missouri. Thompson went in motion. Out it goes to him. And he fumbles. He's on the ball, though. I believe it's a completed pass and a recovered fumble by Andre Thompson. Keith Nord hit him so hard he jarred it loose.
Yes, but there again, he threw in front of Turner, and that's the place to go. Either one of the defensive backs in front of Wright, in front of Turner. And there you see 49 coming in to make the tackle. Keith Nord, number 49.
16-yard run by rookie Joe Cribbs. Buffalo over New England, 24-13. 9:42 to go, and Buffalo can go into a tie with New England. Eddie Lee Ivory's out. Cordell Middleton is in. Nothing. No gain. Gary Ellis carrying. The stop is made by number 49, Keith Nord, and Scott Studwell. So that gives them now 3rd and 6 on the Viking 19. Packers remain on the ground, and they have 8:45 to play, trying to score their first victory over the Vikings in Green Bay since '65.
This is a good trap situation here, Kurt. Try to get the ball upfield. They'll be expecting a pass. The tackles will be coming off the ball. Extremely tough. If you crack the trap, you have a big play on a first down. If not, you still have a chance to kick the field goal.
They have Atkins and Middleton, second string backs in now. 3rd down. The pass out. That's complete. He got it out there. Andre Thompson in front of John Turner. We've been talking about that in front of Turner.
Yes, they can do that, especially out on the field. It'll be a little tougher now as they come close to the goal line, but I mentioned it so many times during the course of the game, not because they are not good defensive backs, but because they're playing deep, and you should be able to throw in front of both Nate Wright and Turner.
Crowd's going goofy here. Since the middle of the third quarter, Green Bay's had the ball 80% of the time. Same thing happened to the Vikings at Cincinnati last week. There's a draw play to Steve Atkins of Maryland. He's inside the 10 to the 9. Red McNeil tackled him.
They almost had a bad exchange that time between the quarterback and Atkins. It looked like Atkins was a little bit too far away from the quarterback when the ball was exchanged. Luckily, he didn't fumble the ball. Talk about a lucky for Green Bay.
I'm going to put it on at 10. It's a 9.5. 15 completions for Lynn Dickey out of 31 attempts. 2 weeks ago, he had a 400-yard passing game. Second down, 9. Now, what's he going to do? He's going to run. They stack him and drop him at the 12. That is the second sack by the Vikings today. Green Bay's had one. Neither club gets to the other quarterback too well.
Randy Holloway was responsible for the rush that time, and you have to give the Minnesota Vikings a lot of credit. They covered very well on the play. He didn't have a chance to throw the ball to anybody and had to eat it.
Second string tight end is in Larson, the man that caught the only touchdown pass of this game. On the 12-yard line of Green Bay, of the Vikings. It is 3rd and 11 for Green Bay. One back. That's Atkins. There's a pass. It's complete. Touchdown. Paul Kaufman, the tight end. Green Bay scores again as they're in command now.
Kaufman really made a nice move on the route. He ran outside the linebacker, and it looked like he was going to run to the outside as Dickey semi-rolled to the right, but instead he curled inside of the defensive back and was wide open on the play. Beautiful play, and he licked Fred McNeil, the linebacker, who was covering him on that particular pass pattern. Watch, roll out right, and Kaufman, instead of going outside, rolled inside of McNeil, number 54. The cavity was wide open there, nice seam, got the ball right on the numbers, touchdown, Green Bay.
All right, the kick will be attempted by Tom Burney. And it's up. No good. He blew the extra point. Well, that leaves the score with 7 minutes to play in this game. The Green Bay Packers 16 and the Minnesota Vikings 3.
If you need good gas mileage, but you can't make it with a small import pickup, you're caught in a kind of tug-of-war. And Ford's the answer. Now, you'd expect good mileage from a small truck, but with 6-cylinder pickups, here's Ford's mileage breakthrough. And there's Ford's full-size cabin box and 6-cylinder power. And payload, it can actually carry the Toyota.
That was a 55-yard drive by Green Bay. Here's the kick coming to Eddie Payton on the 8. 15 to the 20. Still going over the 30 and is hauled down around the 32, 33-yard line by Harlan Huckabee. Tonight on CBS starts with a brand new edition of 60 Minutes and a CBS special movie presentation, Father Figure, followed by Alice and the Jeffersons, all on CBS tonight. 33-yard line. Vikings have not scored a touchdown now.
I'm sure they'll throw the ball here on 1st and 10. They've got to throw the ball to get back in this football game.
They put Brown in motion. Kramer, that's an incomplete pass at the 35. The Vikings were shut out last week by Cincinnati. All they've had is a field goal today. So they're in their 8th quarter in a row without a touchdown. Both of these clubs have had trouble in the final period. The Packers have been outscored 37-21 up until today, while the Vikings have been outscored 76 points to 30, including today. Green Bay's come up with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
Casey Merrill is in at left end, and now they go to a 4-man front.
Second down, 10. Kramer shoots it. Nearly intercepted, not quite. A diving attempt by number 22, Mark Lee. Third down, 10. Let's see what's happening over at Cleveland. Sipe comes right back. 26-20. Pittsburgh over Cleveland in the 4th period. The Steelers have led all the way, but the Browns hang in there. Don't count them out yet. They pulled one out against Green Bay last week in the last 16 seconds. On a 46-yard pass, Sipe to Logan. Sensor. Sensor should, well, let's see. Does he have the first down? I don't believe so. He's out on the 41. He may be about a yard and a half short. And would they have to gamble now, Hank?
Yeah, I think so. I think if it's short, you have to try to get the first down and maintain possession. You got to try to make something happen. I surely wouldn't kick the ball here.
I don't believe they are. They're sending in Bob Brewer, 3 tight ends on the field. Tucker comes back. Tucker, Sensor, and Brewer, the tight ends. So on the 41-yard line of the Vikings, they have a 4th down and a short yard to go. And they're trailing in the game, 16-3. 6.5 minutes to play. They don't get it. Robert Miller stopped cold. Miller stopped.
It all depends on where they mark it, Kurt.
Yeah,
it looks like
right.
It didn't make a lot of progress. Both teams think, the Green Bay Packers think they stopped them, and Minnesota thinks they made the first down. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be close.
I don't believe they made it.
No, I don't think so either, the way they mark it.
The officials are going to call time. Vikings have converted a 3rd down situation into a 1st down only once today in 11 attempts. If this one fails. And it does fail, and Green Bay has the ball on the Viking 41. Very much in command now. A 16-3 lead, 6.5 to go. We asked Bart Starr before the game in our opening, could the club come back after losing that heartbreaker in the final seconds last week? He said yes, they practiced well, the morale is high, and his team is getting better every week. And they are, from what we've seen today. When Dickey asked for time, he couldn't hear the signal. Legal delay is being called against Dickey and the Packers.
I think Bart Starr and his staff deserve, and this young team deserve a lot of credit because they had a lot of adversity early in the season, and they were able to fight their way through the jungle, so to speak, and survived it. Now they're playing very good football, and they're on the threshold here of winning a game against the Minnesota Vikings. So they're playing very well.
They couldn't score a point in the exhibition season. They looked pitiful. A lot of people picked them as absolutely the worst team in the league. And then they started to roll. The last half against Dallas, they were catching on. And
I think the big thing really is they're playing much better defensively and are more acclimated to the 3-4 alignment.
Could be. 1st and 15. Trying to get outside, and he goes to the 41 of the Vikings, tackled by the cornerback Turner. 2nd down, 10. Let's see now, Hank. They beat Cincinnati 3 weeks ago. Then they played Tampa Bay to a 14-14 tie in the overtime.
And 2 kicks. They blew 2 kicks in that game, or else they'd have won that one.
And they lost to the Browns in the last 16 seconds. Now they're back here. So what they have after today, if they hold on, is 1 loss in the last 4 weeks.
Yes, and they're getting better and better each week.
Meantime, the Vikings are wondering what's happened to their offense.
Look at the outside room over here and the outside receivers.
Flags go down. Ivory sprints outside, down the sideline, and is nicked out of bounds.
Doug Martin was offside. They'll decline the penalty.
He goes out on a 23.5. That's twice Doug Martin been offside. He's the #1 draft pick that held out in the early part of the season. Ivory can pick him up after he gets going, can he?
Yes, he's got good speed, good stride, and swallows up a lot of real estate on his way down the field.
Offside, 79, defense, declined.
Offside against Martin. I like Ivory on this explosion here.
Yeah, he sees a seam here and runs right through the traffic. Got the ball in a right arm away from traffic, going down the far sideline, and is finally pushed out of bounds by Randy Holloway, number 75.
Green Bay is on the 23-yard line of the Vikings with the first down. There's a fumble. Bounced right up to him, fortunately. That was Steve Atkins. He was lucky on that one. It came right back to him. Atlanta leads the Rams. Bartowski, 54 yards to Alfred Jackson. 1:15 to play in the game. Atlanta 13, the Rams 10. If Atlanta holds on, the Rams and the Falcons will be tied for the lead in the Western Division.
Well, that Atlanta team is a real surprise this year. I had no idea whatsoever that they would be playing as well as they played so far in the campaign.
And Hank, the Rams had won 5 in a row.
Yes.
Second down, 9. Eddie Lee Ivory cuts out to the 20, goes to the 15.
Another trap, Kurt. And that's what you have to do to slow down that rush, and they did a good job of executing the play.
Well, it's been all Green Bay since midway in the third period. Look at this kid run.
Yes. Supposed to have been inside, but he pops to the outside and does a good job of running on the play. Packers are totally dominating the line of scrimmage at this stage of the game.
Green Bay on the Vikings 12-yard line with a first down. And Green Bay, without a running attack all year, has found one today in the second half. That's Ivory plowing just short of the, well, we're going to put him on the 10, a 2-yard gain. And all this running game by Green Bay has used the clock up for him. The timeout called, a Minnesota player down. Let's see what Eddie Lee Ivory just got 2 more yards on that play. So he has 59 yards now, most of them in the fourth period. And Gary Ellis had 76 yards. Ellis has had the best rushing day for the Packers this year. Lynn Dickey over talking to the coaching staff of the Packers. We'll be leaving you for about a minute, and we'll be back here at the sun-bathed Lambeau Field right after this message. 16-3 Green Bay. They scored their touchdowns on passes to tight ends, Larson and Kaufman short passes, but they're beating the Vikings on the ground. They have 140 rushing yards. It averaged below 100 coming into this game, one of the lowest in the league. There's Dickey, 10. Dickey drops it to 6. Picks up 4. It'll be third down coming. And 4 to go. Packers were gaining just 3.21 yards a rush coming into this game. That's the lowest in the league to New Orleans. Billy Sims and the Lions lead the league in rushing per carry. But the Packers have opened it up today and have looked very good with Ivory and Ellis behind a good blocking forward wall inside the tackles mostly. Third down and 4. Ivory cuts it back. Close to the first down, not quite there. He's at the 4, where he's nailed by Keith Nord. But the clock is moving. They're yelling, go, go. Score 16-3. Fourth down and a yard to go on the Viking 4-yard line. And they're going for it. They don't have much to lose here. If they don't make it, they leave the ball in the 2 or 3, 4-yard line.
Yeah, they're still in the soup, and so they've got a long way to go. So it's worth. I think he's doing the right thing, going for it on fourth and 1.
3 tight ends. Would you go inside or out? They got them pile up on him.
Looks like they're going to run left. Something left.
4th and 1. They're running Ivory to the left. Ivory has it and fumbles. He fumbled it on the way over the goal line before he got there.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, they should have had another touchdown. Keith Nord hit him, and that is a turnover. That is the 5th turnover, the first one of this half. Second time they lost the ball with a fumble. As they hit the ground, the ball popped loose.
And as Tommy Hannon, number 45, gave him a good shot, and as it looked like he made contact, the ball popped loose, but he didn't have it close enough to his side in his hand over the point of the ball.
And that stops the clock with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining. 16-3 Packers. The Vikings have the ball on their 2-yard line. Well, the Packers at least had a first down on that, and perhaps a touchdown if they'd have held on to it. Kramer will throw out of the end zone. He shoots it out, completes it, gets it out to the 11-yard line to Robert Miller. We have the 2-minute warning now, and the time will stop. Kurt Allerman hitting Miller. Well, we'll be back for the last 2 minutes of this game with the score, the Green Bay Packers 16 and the Minnesota Vikings. And they have the 2-minute warning, Mr. Stram, in Buffalo, where Joe Cribbs has just scored another touchdown, 2 in a row. Buffalo leads New England 31-13, 2 minutes to play.
Boy, what a surprise that is. And Buffalo really must be for real. We haven't seen them play yet this year, but they're doing a super job.
On the 11-yard line of the Vikings, second down and a yard to go. Kramer trying to find somebody open, heaves it out, and it's an incomplete pass. It'll be third down and a yard to go for the Vikings from their 11. A minute 52 up in the corner, as you see. Now we have another score coming in here. How about this one? 4-yard run by Otis Anderson for a Cardinal touchdown. A 11-yard pass of Jim Hart to Pat Tilley, another touchdown. And the Cardinals, in the third quarter, 10:47 to go, lead Baltimore 14-0. Those are doubleheader games coming up over most of these stations. Chicago at Philadelphia, Detroit at Kansas City. Third down and a yard to go. The pass is complete. I don't know whether he made the first down or not. Ahmad Rashad, who's been used very little today, caught the ball.
Well, I think they made the first down.
Yeah, I guess they just did. Yeah, it's on the 16. You're right. Nobody's calling time. They're quickly lining up. 16-3, Packers ahead. Here is Kramer heaving it downfield. It is incomplete. They were double teaming the intended receiver, Sammy White. Clock stops, a minute 27 to go.
Estes Hood that time, looking into the sun, lost the flight of the ball too, or else he might have had an interception on the play.
I told you not to count that Byron Sipe out. He's come back and thrown a touchdown pass to Newsom, and the Browns now lead the Steelers 27-26 with 5:38 to play. That Sipe is unbelievable.
The Cleveland Browns are unbelievable. They've won more games in the waning minutes of the game than anybody in professional football. They're incredible.
Yeah. What games they have over there. On second down, Kramer is wrapped up. Mike Butler got to him on the sack. Mike Butler, defensive left end. In his fourth year from Kansas, #1 draft pick.
And he's got good size, 6'5", 265. Been with the Packers for 4 years, 26 years old, and as you mentioned, in the University of Kansas.
8 losses in a row for New Orleans. Washington beat them 22-14. 5 field goals by Mark Mosley. The pass complete to the 30-yard line. Hitting Sammy White with under a minute to play now. It'll be a first down. They're going to mark it really in the 29 when he stepped back toward the sideline. Now the Steelers led that entire game. If they don't come back, then the Browns will be in the lead, depending on what Houston does again. They'll all be about half a game apart among the whole division. What a rat race that division is. There's something for you. I just saw Ahmad Rashad start forward, try and hold, and then fell down on his face. He was a near wide receiver to you. He started a motion, held up, and went down on the ground and froze there.
You know, this is the first time I've seen Minnesota play where he wasn't more of a dominant factor in the game. Really, I don't know how many balls he's caught so far in the game, but they really haven't given him much business.
I think he's caught 2, Rashad.
I think that's right. Is all he's caught is
3.
3?
3. For 56 yards.
Offside, number 28. First down.
Rashad was offside. He tried to hold himself, but couldn't do it. Well, it's back on the 24. It's first and 15. 51 seconds to go. Many of the fans are filing for the exits with the Packers ahead 16-3. He's hit and he just lets it fly and it's nowhere. Butler got to him again. There's one for you. The Atlanta Falcons defeated the Los Angeles Rams today 13-10. And that should put them in a tie with the Rams. Each club with 5 wins and 3 losses. They're tied for first now. Charles H. Milton III is the executive producer for CBS. This game was produced by Chuck Chili Will, directed by Duke Strutt.
And what a great job they've done here this afternoon. How about it, Kurt?
Yes, sir.
You bet.
Kramer again. Out he goes with it. And that is to censor the tight end, the completed pass. Joe Rubesky is the associate producer. Richard Shapiro, the engineer in charge. Bob Chesney and Bob Hanford, the technical director. Ken Wilkney and Dick Radzak on audio. Bob Kimball, our statistician. Hank Stram on the color. I refuse to identify myself. Final, Buffalo 31, New England 13, and they are tied for their division. New England now has 6 wins and 2 losses. Buffalo 6 wins and 2 losses. If Miami could win Monday night, they'd be right behind. There it is. We just gave you that final, which puts the Falcons in a tie with the Rams and snaps the Rams' 5-game winning streak. The Rams, you know, lost their first 2 games. There's the Washington win. Boy, New Orleans is 0-8. This is the halfway mark of the 1980 season. And the Vikings are 35 seconds away from not scoring a touchdown in 2 consecutive games. From the shotgun, Kramer's pass, barely intercepted, but not quite. It was broken up there by Mike McCoy, or Wiley Turner. Second down, 10. Well, quite a win, Henry Stram, for the Green Bay Packers after losing in the last 16 seconds to Cleveland last week. They showed something, not letting that get them down.
Yeah, you can't walk around with your tail between your legs, so to speak, and that would have been very easy to do after the overtime tie to Tampa and then the loss last week, but they bounced back well.
Kramer throws the bomb. It may be intercepted. It is. Well, he went down. Johnny Gray intercepted it. Packers had the ball, 19 seconds to go on their 3-yard line. And now they really pile for the exit. He overthrew his receivers on this one.
Well, he was just trying to get the ball downfield to hope that something big might happen, like a pass interference or a tip ball or something. But it didn't happen that way. And, of course, number 24, Larry Brune, or not Larry Brune, but 24, Johnny Gray, I'm sorry, made the interception.
19 seconds remaining. Lynn Dickey goes into the huddle. He's been a real factor now in Green Bay. Took over late last year. He's been guiding this club very well the last month.
Yeah, he's been terrific, and you have to give him a lot of credit. I was very dubious about the fact that he could do that, but he has done it and deserves a lot of credit for doing it.
Yeah, everybody said they didn't have a quarterback, but they've got one now in Lynn Dickey.
And you have to give Bart Starr a lot of credit for seeing that ability and staying with him.
31-year-old veteran who's miraculously recovered from a dislocated hip at Houston, which put him out 2 years, and a broken leg the year before last, which he had 3 operations on it. They said he was all washed up. But here he is guiding the Packers to a win and is their established first-string quarterback.
And the important thing there is the fact that he didn't think he was washed up and has proven that he wasn't.
Timeout called by Green Bay, by Minnesota with 14 seconds to go. Oh, surprises today. Buffalo and New England are tied for the lead in the Eastern Division of the American Conference. Atlanta dumps the Rams, and they go into a tie with the Rams in the West. The Steelers leading all the way, and the Browns and Sipes passing again have come back to take the lead. 5 minutes to go there. Dickey dives to the ground. 10 seconds. They're letting it run. 7. And Green Bay